sons of my bitch. Hello, my beautiful child soldier. We will be beginning in a couple of minutes. By a couple of minutes, I mean exactly 1 minute. It is Thursday, but with your boy Yugopnik, it always feels like a Friday. Thank you to all the early birds. Enjoy the chill music, and we'll be starting very, very soon. Hello, everybody, all my beautiful, beautiful child soldiers. How we doing this fine morning, evening / afternoon? It is your beautiful, beautiful boy, Yugopnik. On this fine Thursday, it is 5th of September between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. An early stream, the way we're used to it at this point. I was planning on starting an hour earlier, but my preparations for the incoming episode for what you call it for the deprogram took a bit extra, a bit long if you know what I mean, mate. So that's where I lost the hour. I will be finishing this stream in exactly 3 hours and 30 minutes, and then I will immediately jump over to a recording session for the deprogram. So today is a very packed day, but that means it is a very good day. Also, you have the immense privilege of seeing me without a fucking haircut. I have a haircut booked for Monday, and the even more immense privilege of seeing me under actual sunlight, okay? The drip today is very chill. I didn't fucking overthink it. It's just a t-shirt with plants you find in the sea, apparently. That's the thing. How are you chatters doing? Very good to see all the good regulars in chat, from Good Lenin to Gay Lenin to Kubashi to Figgy. How you motherfuckers doing? It's always nice to be on a Thursday. Thursdays are, in my opinion, a bit underrated because you don't really do much because you know that Friday is coming on the next day. While on Fridays, it's too obvious for you to kind of relax too much, if you know what I mean. I was wondering why I feel so hot. It's because I did not turn the AC on. Let's turn that AC on. Let me switch to this menu real quick. I'll leave you with some music for literally 20 seconds. I want to do something with my setup real quick. Literally 20 seconds. Apologies, okay? We like it nice and dark, baby. I'm gonna have your stream going while I'm in the dispensary getting weed, then I'll be watching. Let's fucking go. That's how I like you, motherfuckers. Because with Yugopnik absolutely every day is Friday. Today, what did I do today? Today I did some grocery shopping because my girlfriend would have otherwise shot me in the fucking legs because I haven't done that in a second. I went to the gym to exercise my 99% fat body. Now it is exactly 98% fat. I'm very proud of the great improvements I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Benji. Benji in the house for the 8-month streak. Thank you very much for the sub, baby. Baby, I'm very happy with the current sub count. Let's make that motherfucker grow. But anyways, today I have something interesting planned for you guys, and not really any life updates to speak of. I've been watching a interesting show from 2016. I think it's called The Night Off. It's this. I kind of recommend it for now. I mean, it's kind of retrospectively became a cliche. It's about this like English Pakistani kid that gets blamed for a murder that he didn't really do, even though, you know, all evidence points to him doing it, and he's kind of an absolute fucking idiot when it comes to his reaction to the girl he just slept with being completely butchered right in front of him. So, you know, it takes a second for you to feel for the guy, especially if you're as toxic as me and you compare yourself to the character you're watching and you always overinflate your ego and you're like, man, I wouldn't have done any of this. I would have been much smarter in this situation. I wouldn't have fucked up this much in this situation. But then, you know, dude's name is Riz. Yeah, dude's name is literally Riz. I love John Turturro, John the Torturer. I love Michael Kenneth. I love Bill Camp. Just the cast in this thing is absolutely phenomenal. The acting is on point. The story is interesting. Again, like, this was kind of the cement, the bedding that was set up back in the day for these types of short eight episode, one season type of shows where a crime just happened and then throughout the season you learn who actually did it, who didn't do it, etc., etc. We now get like 10 of these types of series absolutely every year, and this was kind of to an extent one of the first ones, at least with a big publisher such as HBO that has done it in the past 2 decades, right? It's kind of redefined it, very stylized, very dark, very, very gritty, a lot of social commentary that they don't shy away from, blah, blah, blah. But because of that, watching it in 2024, it feels a bit outdated to an extent, but I can't blame that on the show, obviously. So I do recommend it if you would like a nice, decent binge that you actually have to pay attention to. It's a very decent 8 out of 10, even though the main character, I'm midway through, but the main character is kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ, you're really burying yourself with this one. But then again, he's just a young guy in college that teaches, the athlete, like does courses in the meanwhile to pay for his tuition, who's a child of working class immigrant parents, etc., etc. So it's a decent thing. I watched that. I went to the gym. I went grocery shopping. Extremely boring life. I'm extremely boring guy sometimes, except when I'm not, and then it's too much to the extreme. Well, what are we going to talk about today? Today, obviously, we're going to at one point cover the news, see what is happening around the world, but I wanted us to have kind of a relative theme going today. And today it's basically media, specifically the death of old media. I saw an interesting video by Then and Now, the rise and fall of the media, as it's called. Then I saw a very interesting video by Ben a Minute. I haven't watched any of his stuff before. I let YouTube autoplay until it turned me alt-right. So I would like us to go down that pipeline that many of us have unfortunately gone down without a lot of willingness on our end in the past, and see if it's still a thing on YouTube, as one would probably say it most definitely is, and then we can. We can talk about, the media's interpretation of swing voters in the U.S. And then if we have time, Our Changing Climate, a dear friend of the show, posts a video, How We Build Socialist Power, which would be very interesting. I don't know much about it. And I believe he's talking specifically about literal power, like, how do we power our apartments and our industries in a more egalitarian world? Then we might do some Chud Watch and Duncan Peterson, as we always do. Duncan, Emily in Paris by Alice Capel as well. That could always be fun. I love being toxic about a show that presumably a lot of women have a relationship with. and then we'll do the news. Does it sound like a plan? I think it sounds like a plan. We're going to talk about media. We're going to, especially from my perspective of PR and advertising, etc., etc., and obviously with a Marxist undertone. So relax, enjoy your nice chill Friday. Take out your evil juice or your less evil juice, whatever you prefer, and have just a chill session with me. So I don't know if you remember the 2016 alt-right pipeline. I believe, just to properly cite things, the person who really put a kind of pin on it was dear comrade Non-Compete. I don't think I ever talked directly to Non-Compete, but he made, Non-Compete made, what was it called? The alt-right pipeline. He made this a very long time ago. PewDiePie to alt-right pipeline, exactly 5 years ago. The PewDie pipeline, how racist humor leads to violence. This was a very decent video, and not just about humor in particular, but how fucked the algorithm on YouTube in general was, and how the right exploited it. But then this very interesting young new creator, Ben a Minute, popped up on my radar with I let YouTube autoplay until it turned me alt-right. And it looked like a relatively interesting re-examination. So, did YouTube learn their lessons? Did they become more advertiser-friendly? And did the market truly solve our continuous drive towards radical politics? Well, I can most definitely tell you that it's pitching leftist, at least openly leftist videos a lot less. But let's see if it's been doing the same thing with right-wing shit. I don't know, chat. Have you been? I can't really say how fucked the algorithm is because I hate watch a lot. Especially with you guys here, for everybody from Jordan Peterson to fucking Ben Shapiro, etc., etc. So the thing very often continuously gives me these sorts of videos, but I understand it because, YouTube thinks I like them. But you guys that don't really, click on that type of shit, you still get reactionary shit recommended to you all the time or not. ZVH, it's Friday the prequel, exactly. Sometimes I thank myself from the past that I wasn't as online in 2016 as I am today. You are very lucky, Kubashi. It still suggests reactionary stuff, yeah. If you make a new account, you get bombarded with right-wing and rad-lib content. Yeah, I can imagine, but let's approach it from a more quote-unquote scientific perspective. Maybe we can even do an experiment of our own later. I can make a brand new account and see what it populates me with. Is it only oh my god, like fucking big head shit, or is it more devious than that? Can't believe I can't remember the name of the biggest fucking YouTuber. Jesus Christ, they call him Big Head. Yeah, I saw the video, the Taylor Swift thing by A$AP Rocky. Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny Slavs. It's so funny. It's so funny. Whatever. By the way, some recent news that might be interesting to you. I just literally posted about it. Macron just did a soft coup by naming a right-wing anti-immigration establishment guy as the new French prime minister, completely ignoring the election results. As we've talked to French comrades here in chat, it's a tradition that for the first time in over 55 years was kind of completely ignored by Macron, where this guy is not even from the top three parties that were chosen. He's number 4. He's an anti-immigration, pro-EU, classic liberal type of bullshit. He's a fucking corpse. He's over 70 years old. And he's kind of the perfect bridge for Macron to set up between his centrist party, which obviously no such thing exists, his right-wing party, with the more far-right party of Le Pen. So yes, thank God it's a Western democracy that did that, because remember, chat, just like international law is Santa Claus for adults, okay? Great Yugopnik quote. Also, let me teach you something new. I think I wrote it here. Western democracies are democracies because they're Western, not because they're democracies. Again, Western democracies are democracies because they're Western, not because they're democracies. Because everything Western and everything allied to the imperial US is de facto good. It is always good no matter what it does. Anything else is de facto undemocratic, for it is not Western and it is not allied to the US. Ideas such as what is defined as a cohesive government, or if an ideology is positive or negative when exhibited by the leading governing body of a particular country, is not looked upon from the prism of actual laws, actual legislation, actual balance of power in those particular countries. You have messages open. Yeah, okay, sorry. Whatever, yeah. I have nothing to hide. It's a bunch of, organizing shit for interviews. What did I want to say? Yeah, it's not based on the actual system in place in those particular countries. When you have a unipolar world, what is supported and allowed by the international community, which by international community we only define the Western world, to continue functioning and to continue calling itself a democracy, and to continue getting money from the U.S., getting money from these massive funds, etc., is as long as it's allied to the U.S., it is de facto good. It is de facto good. Otherwise, Saudi Arabia wouldn't exist as a state. Okay, so. These might be cliches for some, might not be cliches for others. I hope you learned a little bit. So again, Western democracies are democracies not because they're democracies, but because they're Western. A bit of a tongue twister. I'll work on it, but I think it's really decent to put on my grave, okay? Not the gay porn DMs. Yeah. Yeah, you see, like, that's the beauty. Unless the beauty of not being a weird fucking pedophile or sex pest is I'm not afraid of anything potentially opening up except literally releasing my full name, right? That I'm not afraid of, but I'm not yet ready to fully come into the light, as they say, okay? I am in the Twitch closet, the Twitch masked closet, if you want to call it that. So I'm not afraid of opening any file on stream except like showing my actual real name, which then you will be able to cross-reference and find that I am a multiple accused child predator. Some shit. Imagine that. God, no. In the part of the world where I'm at, that would just mean being dead. That you don't really go to prison for that. You
Wonderful.
get killed.
A new child soldier.
Thank you, Drew Stew, motherfucker. Thank you very much, my beautiful child soldier, for the 5-month service in the Great Gunnar Army, baby. Let's fucking go. Okay. No, I told you this many times. The worst thing you can find of me is pictures in clubs where I'm vomiting over a table or having been or covered in blood, either somebody else's blood or my blood. I'm not acting like I'm Chad Man Destroyer here, but in my youth I have engaged in a bit too much violence. Let's use that terminology. Which I am gladly out of that life now. Thank you.
With the right.
Okay, so is the alt-right pipeline, baby, is it still a thing on the YouTubes? Is it still not a thing? Well, usliskane slike, da, brate, znaš koliko imam da sam jebeno uništen, jebate. Okay, let's get into this video. I don't know anything about this creator. Hope they're chill. They have a cat in the background. Already like them. Okay. See a little cat. See a little cat. I love the almost JT haircut. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Rise of social media algorithms influencing our thoughts and our beliefs every single day, paired with the United States 2024 presidential election coming up this November, I had a burning question that I wanted to find the answer to. How many videos does it take until YouTube recommends alt-right content? With a brand new YouTube account and only using the autoplay feature, will YouTube eventually start feeding me far-right or alt-right videos? Well, let me tell you.
I mean, de facto, probably yes, because YouTube recommends the shit that most people comment on, the shit that has most likes, and the shit that gets shared very actively on other platforms. What is that shit? Shit that is controversial. What is the most controversial shit? Well, shit that is not true. What is usually the shit that is not true and controversial at the same time, almost 100% of the time? Yes, my dear brothers, sisters, and NBs, right-wing content, because that's literally their bread and butter. So the way the algorithm defines something as popular, unfortunately, intentionally or not, I cannot judge that, intentionally or not, unfortunately, always ends up pushing at controversial shit that is controversial enough for it to garner a very loyal audience that is continuously going to upvote them, as well as a hater audience such as me, myself, and I to constantly either comment on it negatively or dunk on it, repost it while dunking on it, etc., etc. It is just the unfortunate reality of most social media algorithms. Taboo sparks the most conversations, and whatever sparks the most conversations is the thing that gets posted the most. Yeah. Fortunification of YouTube Shorts. Oh, don't get me started on YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is different. YouTube Shorts is just that just hell zone. That's the pits of hell, okay? You want an update to Dante's Inferno, how it actually looks like in hell? Actual 2024 hell is the Clockwork Orange scene where you just have like your eyes continuously opened as you're fed water and energy drinks, and you just watch YouTube Shorts for the rest of eternity. That is 2024 hell. That is Satan updating hell for the 2024 conditions, okay? The material conditions also apply to hell, baby. Yeah, let's fucking go, okay? Pozdrav iz Dragstora. Pozdrav, brate. Everything is content engagement is all that matters. Yes, yes. And even if it's right-wing propaganda, it's still content, at least in the eyes of the algorithm. That's why, that's why, like, as leftists, we are kind of placed in a conundrum. We are supposed to advocate for more content moderation because that will kill the right-wing pipeline. But we also need to remember that if we advocate for more content moderation in an attempt for YouTube to appear apolitical, because they want advertisers of all stripes to come to their platform, in an attempt for them to seem apolitical, what will they do? They will say, okay, we're banning all the right-wing shit, but so that we appear apolitical, we're also going to ban all the left-wing stuff. So it's a lose-lose. And from one perspective, okay, these guys get banned more, but eventually that will lead to you getting banned more, or at least you not appearing as high in the algorithm as you would want leftist propaganda to be pushed. So, working a corporate job is at least 50% of the circles of hell nowadays. Yeah, you're already there. That's why Lucifer needed to update hell, because for all us corporate schmucks, it's you work corporate your whole life. You go to hell. You're like, what is this? Is this is what you got prepared for me? The peak of my day used to be standing next to the water cooler and talking to my colleagues about their fucking decrepit dogs, okay? You think this is hell? Have you ever listened to Michelle talk to you about her second born and how good he's doing in doctor's college? Okay, have you experienced that? No? Well, Lucifer, you gotta do better with this hell thing, brother, okay? This is not it. And that's why Lucifer created the YouTube Shorts. So that he can populate hell with content, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's go. Let's see what is happening. Hell is working at a call center. That's like the lowest tiers of hell, the hardest tiers of hell.
What I found was pretty insane, to say the least.
The patch on the right ear.
You're the cause of President Trump almost being assassinated.
What?
Did this individual have male genitalia?
It's been a minute, and welcome to... I originally had the idea for this video after watching Ludwig's 1000 video autoplay experiment, where he stopped once he got to his 1000th video to see where the YouTube algorithm led him. Well, I'm going to keep going past 1,000, actually very far past 1,000 as it turns out. And I'm not gonna stop until YouTube autoplays an alt-right video. But before we get into conducting this experiment, we need to go through some ground rules.
Do we still call them alt-right, though? They kind of like abandoned that shit. They completely abandoned that. They're just like real patriots, brother. We're all real patriots, brother. Yeah, brother.
For the next, however...
The water cooler thing is an actual thing? Not really. The kitchen is an actual thing. And if you're a smoker, Pandas, the terrace is an actual thing.
So minutes long, this video...
Speaking of actual things, an ad will play in exactly 1 minute and 45 seconds. The ad algorithm towards the alt-right pipeline starts when you watch an ad, because first it starts with burgers. Then it starts, they are coming for your burgers. Then all of a sudden you're a Nazi. Watching ads, turning into a Nazi. Inevitable. Unless you turn into a communist. For $5 a month for free through Prime. By subscribing to this channel, you will turn into a communist. If you watch the ads, you will turn into a capitalist, which is the same thing as a Nazi. The choice is yours. Thank you very much. The ad will play in 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's not bad for the first pitch of the day.
Turns out to be... We are all going to pretend that we are an undecided voter who leans no particular direction on the political compass. Please know that this is a completely fabricated scenario. I don't think there is such a thing as a voter who is devoid of any biases or political leaning, but for the sake of this YouTube video, we're going to pretend that we are. Now, to replicate this undecided voter, I will be creating a brand new Google/YouTube account and turning on incognito mode to ensure that there is no location tracking or cookies enabled. So YouTube has absolutely no data or information on this profile, thus creating a blank slate for the YouTube algorithm to mold into its own image. So, what is considered alt-right content? According to research done at the University of California, Davis,
you don't need a university. Conspiracy theories which funnel an ideology which rejects rational understanding of cause and effect when it comes to policy, ideology, and governance of a particular community. That's alt-right, straight from the top of my head. Okay, knees weak, arms are heavy. Mom spaghetti. I'm the communist, not ancient and old Eminem, right up in this motherfucker.
Right-leaning users' video recommendations are more likely to come from channels that share political extremism, conspiracy theories, and otherwise problematic content. So, a few red flags that we're going to be looking out
That is so fucking general. I hate it. That is so general. I hate it.
for that fall into the broader category of alt-right content will be ideas like white nationalism, the Great Replacement Theory, QAnon, Project 2025, and really any extremist conspiracy theory. Now, although
That's fair. Okay, thank you for ignoring the nerds over in colleges and how they define it. Thank you very much.
I have my own personal biases that I am aware do affect my definition of an alt-right YouTube video, I think that most of us can agree that there is a difference between a piece of content that might lean conservative compared to something that is full-on alt-right. So we're going to start by replicating this undecided voter. But I actually want to take it a step further. Not only is this voter undecided, but they have also never heard of a YouTube video until today. Congratulations, voter. Welcome to the internet. So that's where we'll start.
Oh, IQ falling.
Simply searching on Google, YouTube video. And from
Imagine just discovering the internet for the first time right now. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, we're fucking on Twitch chatting. That's like the deepest depths of the internet, right? Like this is so internet, it's almost meta.
there, I will only be clicking on the up next recommended video with autoplay enabled. I have no idea how long this is going to take me, but hopefully it's before election day.
Do you remember when you were not on the internet, chatters? Do you remember? Or you're too, most of you are too young. You were literally like handed an iPhone straight out of your mother's pussy.
November 5th. All right, let's get into it.
We're in the trenches, exactly.
I'm kind of scared. Okay, we're going to go to the first video that's recommended when you type in YouTube video, and that is Casey Musgrave's Cardinal official music video. So I guess what we have to see now is, will Casey Musgraves lead us to, I don't know, Alex Jones?
Speaking of slow death of old media, I have an idea, by the way, for a vid you can do. Please tell me, my beautiful child soldier, Maltese leftist.
Okay, obviously I can't play that.
I got a motherfucking military ad that this is going on my note. Yeah, there you go. It's insane. It's insane. You no longer even necessarily need an alt-right pipeline because they figured out, because they make so much money, they can just pay these platforms money and then specifically target leftist content creators and have right-wing propaganda just play on it. And you're not the first guy. I get military fucking ads on my streams 24/7.
This for copyright issues. I'm sure it's a great song. Casey Musgraves. Let's see where you take us. Okay, now we have positive energy, chill songs to make you feel good. Since this video is an hour and 21 minutes, we're definitely going to skip to the end and see what plays next. We have another 3 hour long. This one's so much longer.
I think those make so much fucking money. Those guys make so much fucking money. They just print out these uncopyrightable 5-hour videos that most people fall asleep to or play in the fucking background. I just don't understand how advertisers are so stupid. Because when I was helping plug ads in YouTube, we would specifically filter out anything that is this long because that insinuates nobody's actively paying attention. So when your ad actually plays on this, the chances for a conversion, which means somebody clicking on it and then afterwards buying something, are almost zero. So it's crazy to me that YouTube is letting these guys make so much money because it's quite literally not sustainable revenue for advertisers. A business Yugopnik tips 244.
And the last one, we're only on the third video, but I really hope we don't get stuck in like music YouTube. Oh, you naive fool. While the majority of the other videos being recommended in the sidebar were the same old smooth jazz genre, seemingly out of nowhere, I saw a few that were leaning a little more political than your centrist bossa nova and jazz.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Look, over here we have recommended Elon Musk on Trump shooting incident and election something. So it's definitely political.
Holy shit, on a fucking God. And that channel is so strange. That channel is so strange. Just let's check it out right now. The channel is so fucking strange. Is it live streaming now? Because it live streams all the time. And it's just like a continuous stream of like old footage, but it's pretending that it's not old footage, the way it streams it. Yeah, now it's not live, but I've seen it so many times, just randomly pop up. It's super strange. And I think it's not even managed by some intern. I think it's just AI managed at this point.
Smooth jazz and bossa nova, we moved more into a chill, lo-fi beats to study to kind of area, a classic if you ask me, which led us to our first loop that I got stuck in. Now the term loop is what I will be referring to anytime YouTube autoplays at least 5 consecutive videos within the same topic. This will start to make more sense as we keep going on.
It definitely puts into perspective how much content is not only on the internet, but just on this platform.
It's insane.
You think this is a lot of content? Buddy, you're like 2% into this thing. Speaking of 2%, that's the same amount of you that are currently subscribed to this channel. If you're enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing.
There you go.
Let's see if we can bump up that 2%. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Wasn't a thing with stolen channel spamming crypto scams using Tesla, Elon, etc. Yeah, probably.
Now we're just at the...
Remember when Elon had that brilliant idea to remove the tick? It was absolutely genius. And then not a lot of people use it to make crazy amounts of money by ripping other people off.
Weekend.
It was a great idea. Remember that great idea?
Lo-fi
But by the way, I read a news article that Tesla has lost more than 25% of its advertisers, according to the most recent report, and has pretty much doubled its negative perspective by advertisers towards the platform. The single highest drop in revenue generation by any larger media, specifically social media platform, in the history of humanity. And yet that guy remains one of the wealthiest people on the planet, and you can't afford to buy groceries, okay? So next time somebody tells you hard and smart work is what leads to success, just point him at the highest echelons of financial power, because the only thing you will see is a bunch of fail sons just continually failing upwards, okay? A bunch of absolute fucking idiots. Total fucking idiots.
Mixes. I'll take it. That's something new.
Once I started to hear the sweet angelic voice of The Weeknd mixed with the lo-fi, I started to feel like we were finally getting somewhere.
I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Okay, we still have a long way to go, so we're gonna have to start speed running some of these loops. So from the lo-fi hip-hop loop, we started to fall into the medieval epic music loop.
God, this music is epic.
But then the epic music started to get a little dark and scary.
Where monsters reign, warmth of the abyss. This doesn't feel good.
On the 157th video, we got our first YouTube short.
Is this a shorts? Are we at shorts now?
From the epic and dark and scary music loop, we then started to see a shift towards soundtrack.
Mods, why don't we have this linked as... let me post it. Why don't we have the video? I'm gonna start being angry here. My beautiful Pokemon. Okay, adding it. Don't want to steal content. Okay. There we go. Pinned. Okay, current video.
Tracks from famous media.
I'm kidding. I love you. I love you. Don't worry, Pandas.
Including
Furiosa. Ooh, this is good.
Top Gear.
Reversed.
the video games Bayonetta and Astral Chain.
I don't even know what this is. Astral Chain?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the tone of my voice, I started to get a little impatient here.
It's already been an hour, and I feel like we haven't really gotten anywhere. How did Casey Musgraves take us to this?
But before we move into the most excruciating loop that I got stuck in, let's go back to Top Gear for a second, because I noticed something pretty interesting.
What's crazy is in my recommended videos from Demolition Ranch, we have the Trump shooter was wearing my shirt, which could lead us somewhere if we got that recommended, but I wouldn't call Demolition Ranch alt-right.
Yeah, not at all. And the video is just like the guy saying, what the fuck? Why did the guy wear my shirt? That sucks.
It's a direction to go in, though.
We had 90s cartoon theme songs that then led us into children's music.
Fishy, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Okay, that's already alt-right. Jesus Christ. That's alt-right as fuck.
Then that, unfortunately, led us into what quickly became my own personal ninth circle of hell. We sing.
I'm going there to see my father.
Oh, God.
I'm going there.
If you don't know, or maybe just don't remember, We Sing is a songbook series for children. I actually remember having one of these CDs and begging my mom to pop it into the 2006 Chrysler Town and Country for long road trips. God, do I miss the days of beautiful automobiles. Anyway, their first album was released in 1977, and then they went on to release 40 more albums, all the way up until 2012. And little did I know, I was about to listen to every single song from all 41 albums.
This is the most political video that we've had so far.
I love how one of the guys is black. It's awesome. And I think in a racist way, this one's Asian. I think it's awesome.
I hope you're having fun, because I'm having a great time.
But then, while browsing through my 30-second We Sing song, something absolutely bonkers happened.
What?
I wish I was in the land of cotton. Old times there are not forgotten. Look away, look away.
Whoa! Whoa! They're literally pitching to babies, dude. Some fucking right winger was like, dude, let's make the same We Sing song, but for the South, dude. Let's place it right in the playlist. Oh shit.
Look away, Dixieland.
Is this it? Dixie. Arguably, the song is extremely far right. I definitely want to see where it takes us after this, but this could potentially be the end. It is kind of crazy that the song is getting recommended to someone who is just watching what's up next on YouTube, especially with the fact that it thinks that I'm a child. So
I'm surprised they didn't change the picture, like whited out the Asian and the black dude.
wow.
Way down south in the land of traitors.
Well,
American Branko Kockica racist half-brother.
there it was. The answer to my burning question. How many videos does it take until YouTube recommends alt-right content? 487. Adopted as the de facto national anthem of the Confederacy during the American Civil War, I didn't see how a recommended video could get worse than Dixie. Oh, and also these songs.
Me and my partner can pick a bale cotton. Me and my partner can pick a bale day. Oh, Lordy, pick a bale cotton.
So bad, cotton needs a picking. So bad, I'm gonna pick all over the field.
So, we're done, right? I mean, the Confederacy was pretty alt-right. Well then, why hasn't the video ended?
Some of his colleagues stunned, dumbfounded, flummoxed even with this take on VP
What is
nominee
this?
J.D. Vance.
Oh. So, to be honest, after 677 children's music videos, I knew I had to course correct this experiment. I truly believe that we were going to be stuck in the baby music loop for all of eternity. And I don't think that would have been a very fun.
Yeah, and it's an interesting test, but it kind of like, I'm not sure, how do I put this? By just going through the music videos, like he's not exactly having an organic YouTube experience, right? That's why it's so difficult to test. I can't make a new account and kind of invent a type of persona that would organically browse YouTube without looking for political content, so that I can calculate at what point will the algorithm start recommending me far-right political content. You know, because that's the only way the experiment, in my opinion, would be completely legitimate. This is just, you know, just testing where the algorithm will take you through random consumption, which is a great experiment, but it doesn't really apply to, you know, a human experience on the website. All of you academics in chat know what I'm talking about, right? This is not exactly like an authority, but it's still interesting. Let's see where it goes.
Fun video. Also, if I
should have started with Mr. Beast or GMM or something. That's not a bad idea. Good, Lenin. Yeah. One could. No, the way to potentially make this experiment like legitimate, it would take a lot of time. You would have to, for example, make 10 to 15 different personas, right? Buyer personas, and say, okay, this is the average browsing of a 12-year-old. This is the average browsing of a 15-year-old. This is an average browsing of a 38-year-old American black woman. This is the average browsing of a 28-year-old blah, 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 ex-military guy, etc., etc. And then see how it leads them. You would either have to create the persona or actually, you know, pay these people to go through the experiment and kind of trace their browsing patterns. But I don't think it's really possible with a real person, because it's probably pretty fucking hard to find a real person that, as he said in the beginning of the video, never experienced the internet before, right? So they will already have biases which will guide the way that they use YouTube. So, you know, it's a thankless job. It's very difficult to pinpoint what could happen. But it is still very surprising that just letting YouTube do its thing, eventually it's going to come to a song that is literally, we like to pick the cotton, we like to pick the cotton. Like, the fuck, that is also very fucked up. But again, it's not exactly, you know, an organic pathway.
I had to hear one more baby song. I was going to drive a Chrysler Town & Country off of a bridge. But before you say that this is cheating, I still made sure that the algorithm decided what video we should watch next. And this is what I actually saw when I clicked back to the YouTube homepage after watching.
Okay, that's important. That's important. Good job. I fuck with this guy. This guy's smart.
1,100 and...
But you know what else is smart? Look me in the eyes. You know what else is smart? You know what else? Not watching ads and being continuously propagandized into a smooth-brained consumer. Instead, I want your brain to have as many lines as possible. And how will you achieve this? Well, by learning from the great and astute academic Yugopnik for $6 a month of a free through Prime, by subscribing and having an adless experience while supporting this hyper-intellectual show, just like the lovely Alex in italics. What a lovely name. 9 out of 10 subscriber. He or she or they probably have many, many, many lines on their beautiful, beautiful head. Brain, head, probably head as well. Okay? The ad plays in 50 seconds. I think that was a decent pitch.
And 8 videos.
I just went back to the homepage of...
easy 10. So many 10s, chat. You're so nice today. Usually you piss in my mouth and you're throwing 2s at me. Thank you kindly.
YouTube.
It's almost as if I was in advertising at one point.
And this is what my homepage looks like.
Kubashi is the hardest rater by far, and Kubashi giving me an 8 out of 10 is actually quite wow.
Have some We Sing Bible Songs compilation for an hour long. Sounds awesome, but probably not going to click on that. Relaxing music to relieve stress from anxiety and depression. I'm feeling both right now. Probably not going to click on that, though. It's 12 hours long. And then we have Go to Hell, MSNBC host roasted for comment on Trump. Fox News.
There we go. Okay, this does prove something. This absolutely does prove something. Actually, the experiment is legit. No matter what you watch, even if you watch the most random shit such as music compilations, eventually YouTube will pitch outwardly political content to you. Here I'm not just talking right wing, okay? Outwardly political content such as fucking Fox News, the pinnacle of hyper-politicized shit, okay? So the experiment is decent, and this is provable and academically, sound logic that he's following here. That's kind of crazy. It's genuinely crazy. So again, to repeat myself, no matter what you watch on YouTube, eventually it will show you political shit. That's insane because it doesn't apply to anything else. Like, unless you start watching videos about being a better woodcutter, okay? Making really cool shit out of wood. It's not going to give you videos about that. Unless, you have a dream of being a car detailer and you watch a lot of car videos. It's not going to give you car detailer videos or car videos in general, right? But with politics, it will feed you that shit even if you continuously show the algorithm that you are in no way interested in it. That is devious. That is pretty fucked. That is pretty different. That is interesting information. Is it a bad thing? No, Sutibam, not necessarily a bad thing. But for a platform that is supposed to be quote unquote apolitical and it is supposed to tailor what it shows you to your specific interests, to always, no matter what other interest you have, to always give you a political twist or a political perspective or a political content in general is kind of strange because that's not what YouTube is supposed to be about.
Could not believe that after watching strictly music YouTube, with most of it being children's songs for well over 1,000 videos, my YouTube browse page recommended a Fox News video about an MSNBC host getting roasted. I'd say things are heating up.
I feel like I need to follow this rabbit hole a little bit. So here we go.
And it's potentially a bad thing because of what he just said, because eventually it does turn into a much more mischievous rabbit hole, right? So what if it just always shows you a bit of political shit? But then when you start watching the political shit, it pushes you further and further into conspiratorial lunacy and right-wing psychopathy, right?
After the Fox News video, we went straight into the first 2024 presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Now, please welcome the 46th president.
All right, now we're heavily in politics.
Although we started at Fox News, which does lean to the right, I was happy to see that we were now in a fairly bipartisan place due to the debate coverage. From here, there are only really two paths that we can go down. Left or right. We are the undecided voter, lost in the dark, and YouTube is our light. So, let's see where we go.
The Fox 5 Surprise Squad.
Oh, straight into the Las Vegas Fox 5 Surprise Squad. Fox 5 Surprise Squad?
Fox 5 Surprise Squad.
Oh, what's that?
The Fox 5 Surprise Squad.
After 116 videos of the
Fox 5 Surprise Squad,
we started to get some shorts covering the Republican National Convention.
The shorts is where they get you, baby.
Interesting.
Resoundingly, yes. The Biden-Harris foreign policy.
The patch on the right ear.
This
Jesus Christ, lady.
It has 10 views.
The RNC happened to be going on the same week I was conducting this experiment, so it made sense that the YouTube algorithm was recommending content surrounding this event as it was current news at the time, along with the assassination attempt on Donald Trump happening literally just a few days prior, I began to realize that we were going to get a lot of coverage of these two events. We're not moving more to the right side. Again, it's just covering the news and things that are getting a lot of clicks on YouTube right now, which is obviously a former president being shot in the ear. So I don't really want to assume that this is going to push us more in a alt-right direction. I think we're probably going to actually stay more within the news. And my hypothesis was correct, because after the Donald Trump assassination attempt coverage, we have Democrats calling for Biden to drop out.
Whether or not Biden should stay on the ticket for the November election.
Senator Bob Menendez and his controversy.
On all counts, that the verdict.
Oh, and also Costco is raising its membership prices. What is this Costco stuff going on? So I guess we weren't heading down the
Costco family. Everything is about the Costco brothers. The Costco bros, brother, yeah, brother.
alt-right path yet. But then we go back to the RNC, then back to Trump, and then obviously you know what comes next. 27 straight videos of, yeah, that's right, say it with me, Windsor Castle guards. How many videos of these royal guards are there? After leaving the British side of YouTube, which is arguably worse than the alt-right side of YouTube, we then go back to the Trump shooting.
We continue to cover the attempted assassination of former President Trump. Today you're looking at...
And then to videos about US presidents. But then we're led to a very impactful video. This one.
The first pitch. Please welcome the 43rd President of the United States of America, George W. Bush.
Now watch this drive.
Man, presidents need to die after their presidency because they peaked so fucking hard. Everything after that, like, is so fucking sad. Even if when they're genocidal psychopaths that you shouldn't feel sad for because they're old, they kind of start looking like babies again. And you're like, oh my God, look at George Bush. He's so like cute. And then, no, he mass murdered so many people. But look at him. He looks like a baby, but he's a murderous baby. Okay.
Top 3 banned pitches in MLB history. At number 5 is the quick pitch.
We don't need to go down the sports rabbit hole. Please.
To mess up
I really
timing.
hope it doesn't do this. No. Yep. We're on sports YouTube now. But actually, not just sports. Strictly just video game sports. Shows one clip of George W. Bush throwing a ball, and then it's like, you know what? Let's show him a bunch of MLB video game clips from channels with 5 subscribers.
EA Sports in the game.
This has 1 view. Now,
this is the alt-right to EA Sports pipeline.
For a while, I thought we'd have a repeat of the Wiesing loop. Getting stuck in a Madden and MLB game clips purgatory for the rest of time. But then a new video came up fast, out of nowhere, hitting me like a school bus. And that's why I love YouTube. Oh.
Find out that everyone hates me? I don't care. Regina, please. Regina, stop! Harry!
There we go. Yeah, let's just watch it again.
Regina, wait, I didn't mean for Harry.
Okay. Now we're just gonna be on the Mean Girls.
What is even happening, chat? What is happening? This is just all over the place. Oh, but Sigma edits are coming. Oh, if Sigma edits come, that's a straight line. That's a straight line to not being straight. What is this? Why does it look so niche? And why does it look fucking dangerous?
What are these? Great question. I'm glad you asked. This is called Bungo Stray Dogs, or BSD, and it's a manga series. But these videos are showing the character model.
That is so niche. That is so absolutely incredibly niche. And if this is your hobby, you're actually kind of cool. Because something this fucking niche, something so niche that you're like, okay, I watched this anime and now we make like stick figures out of it. And then we like retell like stories on YouTube for 400 viewers with the stick figures from the characters from the anime. That is so niche, it's kind of cool.
From BSD that are also in a video game series called Gacha, which includes titles like Gacha Club, Gacha Life, and Gacha World. I am very unfamiliar with everything that I just talked about, so if anyone has more information on BSD Gacha, feel free to explain how I have no idea what I'm talking about in the comments.
Is this
Alex in Italics, I love BSD. God bless.
it's all the same audio? What is this?
There's so much fucking content on the internet, it's insane. There's so much goddamn content on the goddamn internet. Goddamn it, dude. Okay, this is
The end of Biden shooting.
We got 22 Darman shorts.
Thank you, Romka. Hello, Blat. Just dropping by today, but hope everyone is doing very well. Yes, we are, especially when we see you, Romka. Thank you very much.
Sharp birthday. We talked
Have a great day.
Darman.
Then back to the Trump shooting.
It's weird that we didn't get
But why so much content when no profit incentives?
That's a great new argument, actually.
stuck in a Darman.
A great extension to the why do people play video games for like hundreds of hours and build whole guilds without a profit incentive? You know, that's a great addition to it. People that make content that they know will never explode, they just want to make cool shit for their communities that would, you know, find it extremely interesting. There's so many like what one would call niche, but I wouldn't, arguments for why the profit incentive is not genuinely what drives progress. But it's easy, you know? It's too easy. It's boring. You know? I don't want to do boring shit.
And loop, and instead went back to the Trump shooting.
Oh, just you wait. And then some videos about if Biden is going to drop out or not.
I think through recording this video for the next...
Telling me a caveman invented fire without a profit incentive? No. He was the first investor. The caveman was the first angel investor in an up-and-coming business of Firestocks LLC. It's not Silicon Valley back then, just the Valley, the company, the place where all the greatest startup entrepreneurs of 100,000 BC used to, you know, congregate, was called the Valley. And the Valley wanted to increase the stock value of its new IP called Fire, by presenting it to people as something that could both lighten up a room, both help you with cooking, and most importantly, help the original military-industrial complex, which was just called the military because there was no industry or complex, in the way that fire could be used against enemies. And that was the first genuine investment into stock, Fire stock, which really made Fire LLC line go really up. And then they used that money very wisely to do a cross-pollinated marketing campaign targeting all other cavemen and women. Remember, women as well used fire. That was brilliant. That's how they defeated Flame LLC. That's how Fire LLC defeated Flame LLC, because Fire LLC did not see the potential benefit of women also using the fire, right? So Fire LLC really raised up the stonks by also telling people that they themselves can buy into the program. And when they buy into the program, they will be given a special kit. It's called a rock and a stick. And they can make fires by themselves. So that was the first time when a company went public. It's when Fire LLC actually sold its stocks to other cavemen by teaching them how to make fire. And since then, the line has been going up. And the free market has pretty much created all of civilization. Okay? The only guys that kind of defeated Fire LLC afterwards and became the world's most popular and most financially successful corporation, led by the great CEO Krogmar Ratunka, Okay, Krogmar Latunka, incredible entrepreneur, was Wheel LLC. Krognar Latunka made the wheel, and they were like, holy shit, we can put things on the wheel and then take them to certain places and then burn them there. So Krognar Latunka really fucking played it. And that is why we need to remember that we would have nothing in this life without brave stockholders, owners, and entrepreneurs. From Krognar Latunka to our dear Lord and Savior Jeff Bezos. That has always been history. The free market has always introduced incredible things.
Few days we could see,
yes, BlackRock, one of the oldest companies. Exactly. BlackRock was an actual rock. It was an actual black rock, okay? But it couldn't make money up until the 20th century because only white rocks were allowed to prosper. But then when we said more black female prison guards, we also said more BlackRock hedge funds. Let's fucking go, okay?
The end of Biden's campaign with him.
Brazil mentioned. Yeah, I know about the Twitter Brazil fight. Yeah. I know. Maybe we'll cover it. I'll cover it in the deep program.
É impossível vocês não saber.
Thank you for the video, but Ian, doesn't talk in English, so the community wouldn't be able to follow. But massive respect to Ian.
Him dropping out. Good call. And then we started to get recommended videos from different U.S. House representatives. Now, I was really curious to see which way these representatives leaned politically, and if we were getting more Republicans or Democrats being recommended here. But we're going to get to that later, because we just got 76 more Darman videos to watch.
In Barbie High?
And then we go back to the beating heart of this entire video so far. Mean Girls. Oh.
Well, I wanted to check out chat. What do you think my YouTube looks like? Like my YouTube recommends, let me say. Okay, it's Hassan shit, it's car shit, it's news shit, it's anti-imperialist shit, it's some Serbian live stream with a grandmother. Is this a Serbian live stream with a random grandmother? I'm even subscribed. Why am I subscribed to a grandmother? Okay, random live stream of a grandmother. I love that. Okay, YouTube's favorite Hassan keeps playing shit. Warhammer, yes, let's go. Israel bad. For some reason, a Thick Girl Iggy Azalea song from 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't really listen to Iggy Azalea. Deprogram shit. News shit. Warhammer shit. Brazil mentioned again shit. Yeah, and then lore of different worlds I follow. Bosnian patriotic song, okay. Philosophy tube, yeah, it's a pretty standard lefty lore nerd thing. Borgir in different languages, yes.
Here we go.
From Africa.
Just keep going back to Mean Girls for some reason.
Oh my God.
Which was then naturally followed by Walking Dead fun facts.
The Walking Dead's most impactful dads. Daryl Dixon's favorite people. Glenn Ree's favorite people. What if Rick never shaved his beard? In this,
I hate that fucking voice.
This next sequence of loops needs to be followed very, very carefully, or things are gonna get really confusing. I promise you, you will have no idea how we got to what we did without these exact videos autoplaying in this exact order. This was purely by chance. Okay, you ready? So we go from The Walking Dead to Robot Chicken Walking Dead to Robot Chicken that then leads to Tim and Eric.
I feel like this video is a rabbit hole of its own. Like, Jesus Christ, we were advertised more intense shit, you know? We just spent an hour chat talking about music videos. And my brain is melting.
Which was also on Adult Swim, so I get the
It's good. No, it's
there.
very good. It's very good. It's very good. I'm not saying it just might not have been the best stream material for the stream, but it's a great video.
But then we go from Tim and Eric to Josh Groban.
There's a right way to rock and a wrong way to roll.
All right. And then from Josh Groban singing the national anthem, we go to Celine Dion singing O Canada in 1992. Then we go to the national anthem of Canada from what I think is the 2008 Beijing Olympics. And then that leads us to the Russian national anthem from the 2004 Athens Olympics. And then that creates a new loop. A loop.
Oh my god, it's actually a left-wing pipeline. Holy shit, it's a DDR song. Oh my god, no. I guess YouTube really is on our side. I guess YouTube really has been on our side all along, chat.
That I like to call fun time commie military music. Loop.
Dude, he's being a hypocrite here. Let's be fucking honest, okay? And I would be a hardcore hypocrite if I was in his seat as well. Because this is fucking tanky shit, right? Like, it's not, he's not like, oh my god, or, you know, because if, why is he being a hypocrite, chat? Because if a fucking Wehrmacht song or an SS song popped up on screen, you'd be like, okay, Jesus Christ, this is pretty fucked up. Just as he did when it was, oh, we're picking cotton, we're picking cotton, you know? Kid Litzo, you fucking legend, one of the absolute OGs. Thank you very much for the sub, my beautiful child soldier. Thank you kindly. But then it went into Prussian.
Music of Communist China. Okay, definitely not alt-right. So yeah, now we're at probably the furthest point that I could possibly...
Dude, is YouTube based now, bro? Is YouTube our guy? Is YouTube / our guy / Am I supposed to post YouTube up with my boys? Xi Jinping keeps fucking winning, bro. Overtook the fucking YouTube algorithm, baby. This is fucking sick. I didn't see this coming at all, dude. This is a great video.
Side of YouTube. This on the side.
I have a very bipolar relationship to this video. The second I start talking shit about it, it's all of a sudden, yeah, now we're listening to Maoist songs.
The voter was starting to feel the great pool of Carl and Mark. Or whatever.
I saw an East German flag in an antique shop near me. It was 186. That sounds insanely expensive unless you're in the States. Then fine. But probably you could just search the internet. I'm pretty sure you can get it for much less.
His name was. I haven't read the book yet. But then, out of the blue, or should I say red, things turned from leftist to rightist. I'm seeing a path to something that could be somewhat alt-right. It rhymes with... Snadolf Bittler. Okay. Austria-Hungary were definitely the aggressors of World War I who lost and
absolutely fucking dogs, but we owned a little fucking king, mate. We owned a little king. Fucking boom shakalaka. Thank you very much, Ramos, for the gifted sub, my beautiful child soldier. Thank you for giving me another soldier for the great Gunnar Wars. And thank you, Real Pet Chicken. Welcome to the community, Pet Chicken. I love chickens and I love them as pets. Okay? Thank you very much.
Them losing.
Also, be like a real pet chicken, but a chicken that I pet by becoming a sub for $6 a month of free through Prime and avoid the ad that is about to play. Do you want to support American capitalists or a man who is directly descendant from a guy who threw a grenade at a actual monarch? The choice is yours, and this is not a lie. I'm actually, like, my actual name is Gavrilo Princip, okay?
World War I, along with the Treaty of Versailles, kind of gave...
Whoever did the sub-gifty graphic, well done. Oh, thank you very much. I did it.
Gave rise to Hitler and fascism. So
this is unironically me if I take off the mask. Okay, this is what I look like if I take off the mask. This is what I look like when I take off the mask. Yeah, there you go. I'm just this guy. See? Great lookalike. This all Slavs look the same.
So this is not alt-right content necessarily, but I feel like we're kind of getting somewhere right now. We'll see.
Ach
And then, to reinforce my theory of going down this right-leaning path,
I mean, it's not really right-leaning. You had like a song from the 19th century, and then you moved back to DDR, my brother.
Get a video about neo-Nazis.
Trauen und Verantwortung. Das ist die bessere Welt.
And then, right after that,
I'm wearing a bandage on my right.
oh boy, is this getting good. I knew for sure we were heading down a more conservative-focused path, because after more Trump and RNC videos, we got a vintage Reagan campaign ad.
All right.
Oh my God. Oof. I'm not even American, but like this VHS aesthetic and this song, oh, it gives me just automatic nostalgia, man.
Ronald Reagan ad.
Also a bit of trauma because when I watched, I don't know what part of the movie with the guy with the ponytail that does karate chops, but is kind of like a white guy and now lives in Russia. What was his name? The super unhinged dude. The super unhinged actor guy. The chubby martial arts man. Steven Seagal, yeah. My dad had like 15 VCRs of Steven Seagal, and I was like, even when I was 8, I was like, who the fuck watches so much Steven Seagal? But no, he was actually really smart and had put certain types of VHSs into Steven Seagal movies, boxes, because he was like, nobody's going to ever want to watch a Steven Seagal movie. But then I was very bored and they were not home and I wanted to watch a Steven Seagal movie. That was the first time I ever saw porn. Like porn, right? Oh, yeah. So Steven Seagal to porn pipeline. That is what is not being talked about enough. Thank you very much, J Tide, for the 3-month sub. Thank you, my beautiful child soldier. Thank you for being one of the OGs.
Today.
But yeah, small Yugopnik lore, okay? If your dad has a large collection of Steven Seagal movies, they are not Steven Seagal movies. Let me just tell you that very directly, okay?
Followed by an H.W. Bush campaign ad. George H.W. Bush. And then 432 Obama ads.
Wonderful, a new child soldier, subscriber.
Thank you very much, Sofa Cushion, for the 7-month streak, you fucking legend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Gunnar army rises. We are growing. There's more than 1,000 of us, and nobody watching ads in this bitch.
At this
also,
point,
your name is really cool. Sofa Cushion. That's pretty nice. I have a decent idea. But it would be kind of relatively difficult to pull off. Whenever somebody becomes... So I could have a list. I could have an online Excel file with the list of absolutely all of my subscribers. And then whenever you become a subscriber, I rate your name in comparison to all the other names and how much I fuck with it, right? So, for example, Sofa Cushion, it's a great fucking name, would be pretty fucking high up there, right? Abortion Now, pretty great name, would be pretty high up there. Gay Lennon, oh my God, probably top 5 positions. So, but I would always have to like stop whatever I'm doing and then, put them on the list. It would be kind of difficult. I don't know if I'm a bit lazy.
No idea what
Satanic Marxist, yeah, you would be pretty up there, yeah.
Direction the YouTube algorithm was trying to take me. Just moments ago, I saw a real possible path towards alt-right content, with the majority of videos leaning conservative.
I love how a guy called the Good Lenin said, I wish I was gay because it was giving compliments to another chatter called Gay Lenin. It's incredible.
Conservative, but maybe I was just naive to think that it would take us any further than that. Have we learned anything about the algorithm? Are there patterns or signs that could point towards harmful corners of the internet, or is it just completely random? As an undecided voter, I still don't know which way I should lean. Turns out, watching 2 hours of Obama campaign ads from not only 2008 but also 2012 leads to a lot of self-reflection. But while reaching the summit of my self-doubt, the algorithm spoke once again. pulling
Wonderful,
me
a new
in
child
yet another
soldier,
direction I was
subscriber.
not prepared for.
Rospublica, incredible name as well. Thank you very much for the sub. Change his name to Crimea River. Crimea River! You should feel really bad. That was fucking awful. Don't you know that people die in that war? It's fucking hilarious, that Crimea River. Oh,
Not lie about it. You don't get to ask any more questions. I'm done with you because you're the cause. You're
One
the
more
cause
thing, you
of
called
our
the
country.
Democrats a
No.
party.
You're the
Yeah, what did a guy tell me? What's the movie scene? I'm not sure, but some guy, like, they're in a bar and some guys, like, when when October 7 happened and the bombardment over Gaza Strip became even more intense, and the guy was like,
Dude, my phone is fucking going crazy right now with the news, dude.
and everybody's like, why? He's like,
Dude, they're bombing the Strip in Las Vegas, dude.
and we're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it's called the Gaza Strip, I guess. The fucking strip in Las Vegas is getting the shit bombed out of it.
what the Americans? Woo! The smartest American.
the cause of our
Steve,
country
any
being
response to
divided. You're the cause of our country being divided. You're the cause of President Trump almost being assassinated. You're the cause of
Gaza, Nevada.
everything wrong
where's
in
your
America.
evidence for those
No,
claims?
you're done. You're done. Yeah, go back.
Thank you.
After the surprise introduction of arguably the most alt-right politician in the US, the algorithm must have thought that I was really interested in learning more about the ongoings of Congress. Because from Marjorie Taylor Greene, we were introduced to a new channel called Forbes Breaking News, where they cover all the Senate and House hearings. Starting with my very own senator, who actually represents my state, John Neely Kennedy.
Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble,
Call a crackhead. The greatest ex in Indian American history, brother. Dude, he's a real patriot, brother. Yeah, brother, yeah.
call a crack.
Call a crackhead. I love calling myself a nice little crackhead, eh? All my friends are crackheads, and I prefer it. If you hang with a pig, you're a pig yourself. Choose a crackhead over a cop any fucking day. We're gonna do some fucking crack and stab a fucking pig. No.
Oh.
There's nothing like being from the South. Now, I think because Marjorie Taylor Greene led us into this loop, the YouTube autoplay was feeding me these hearings, but only clips or highlights of them from when conservative politicians were speaking. Politicians like Josh Hawley.
The propaganda involved in the origins of COVID-19 is astounding to me. It recalls the worst of the wartime propaganda in years past when the government would deliberately lie to people. And here that's what they have been doing with COVID-19 and are still doing it.
And Ted Cruz.
You said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
It was happening again. We were going down the right-leaning path. What confirmed this algorithmic direction was the first conservative ad I got right here.
Hi, I'm JT, and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does. First of all, big tech right now is running.
Okay.
Do you want to live in a bubble? Always live in a bubble. Do you always want to live in exactly a bubble? Well, I have an app for you to never pop that bubble. Feel secure in the lies that you believe.
But then why am I making fun of this guy? This is basically like just the American media establishment. It's just how, like, what's the difference between this and just watching Fox News every day? It's the same thing. You're just watching the same regurgitation of shit that you already believe in. Same with CNN on the other spectrum, which is just the less right wing segment of the right wing of the American establishment. It's.
Hey, here we go. Oh, and I also got this ad.
Every Medicare recipient over 65 years old needs to see this. The government just gave me thousands of dollars.
Well, being 99% confident, the YouTube algorithm thought I was an 80-year-old conservative, which is actually the largest demographic of registered Republican voters, I got some more news on the Trump shooting, the RNC, a lot more Congress hearings, and then right after that, the Oversight Committee of Democrats YouTube channel? What? Okay, well, I guess the algorithm just course correcting, you know, maybe trying to spice things up with a little bit of sprinkle of Democrats in there.
Is it trying to feed me both sides? Both sides of the aisle?
The crisis on...
Well, I don't really know what it was, because after 61 videos from the Democrat Oversight Committee, something weird happened.
That we are...
What the heck? Where's the autoplay? What happened?
No, he's not watching the entire video. Both sides of as much of a distance, yeah.
When you enter the Supreme Court, you pass under the hallowed words.
You reach the end.
Where did it go?
There was nothing else for autoplay to recommend. I knew there were obviously more videos on the platform to be watched, but for whatever reason, the almighty algorithm decided that I was done. I thought about continuing the experiment and trying a second time, but this felt like a sign. And after watching this many videos, I had enough data to try to make sense of which way the algorithm tended to lean.
But before we get into that, you're probably wondering why I'm holding this journal.
Well, it leans everywhere except actual left, because at no point did it show any sort of true leftist agitation whatsoever, except a bunch of DDR song videos, which YouTube probably more associates with people who are into history than it does any political ideology.
Well, I used this journal to keep a tally of every single video I watched over the course of this entire experiment. That way, at the end, I would know how many videos I watched. So, how many was it?
Okay, well, throughout the 3 days of watching YouTube videos, with only the autoplay feature recommending the next video, besides the We Sing debacle, I watched 3,013 YouTube videos.
Now let's break down those 3,013 videos and go through the top 10 loops and how many videos played in each. Okay, starting off in 10th place, we have the Bayonetta soundtrack with 77 videos. In 9th place, we have The Walking Dead with 83 videos. In 8th, we have Toddler or Children's Music with 89 videos. 7th is Darman Shorts with 98. 6th is the Las Vegas Fox 5 Surprise Squad with 116. 5th, we have the Republican National Convention with 172. In 4th, we have Lullabies or Baby Songs with 211. In 3rd place, we have the Obama campaign ads at 432 videos. A big jump there. In 2nd place, we have We Sing with 442 videos. And in 1st place, we have, covering all of the Senate and House hearings, Forbes Breaking News at 515 videos. So I guess there's only one question left to answer now. How many videos did it take until YouTube autoplayed alt-right content? Well, it kind of depends. If you categorize Dixie as alt-right, then the answer is 487. If Fox News coverage of Donald Trump and the Republican National Convention is alt-right, then the answer is 1,108. If listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, and a bunch of conservative politicians advocate for harmful far-right policies for 515 videos straight, turning your YouTube browse page into a far-right hellscape recommending videos such as this, and this, then the answer is 2,271. The answer is 2,271. That's how many videos it takes.
Okay.
To go through the...
I guess the algorithm is doing algorithm things. That's what we learned. Nothing. Thank you very much, Ben a Minute. Check out Ben a Minute. Thank you, Ben a Minute, for your academic dignity, as it could be called, because he did not manipulate the video any other way. But yeah, could be worse. Could be much worse. Again, this is what happens when you just let autoplay go on forever, and you let it randomly pick the videos that are supposed to come. We can't really see how different types of psychographics, meaning different types of people who would actually choose based on their different interests, the types of videos that they want to watch, and how that is that influences the algorithm to then change what is actually shown to them. That we didn't have access to that. Okay. But yeah, let's check out the news, see what the fuck is happening around the world with Depression Now. DepressionNow.com with Amy Badman and the War and War Report. As always, we are pulling out our bingo card: the genocide, suppression of protests, environmental disaster, race-based violence. And today I feel like we might spice it up with a bit of World War III drama. DepressionNow.com. Let's go. Let's see the news. This is a very fresh video. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 2 hours ago. Okay.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In the occupied West Bank.
Beautiful mods, please adjust the title correctly. Thank you very much. I love you.
At least 5 Palestinians were killed today in an Israeli airstrike on a car in the city of Tubas. A 6th Palestinian, 16-year-old Majid Fida Abu Zaina, was shot dead by Israeli forces in the Fatah refugee camp near Tubas. The Wafa news agency reports Israeli forces barred ambulances from reaching the boy and dragged his body.
You should legit make a bingo card. Do we have a bingo card? Where is the bingo card? I love you, chat, but it would be the easiest bingo card of all time, because on DepressionNow.com, it's always the same shit. Because it's always the same shit in this fucking imperial capitalist hellhole that we all exist in. It's just death and suffering, and the rest of us who are a bit more privileged not looking at the death and suffering because we have ACs and dishwashers. That's it. Every day it's the fucking same thing. Thank you, Danny Coat, 123. Thank you very much for the 3 months, brother. Thank you very much for supporting me and slowly deteriorating my own mental health while I cover this shit. Yeah, brother, nothing changes. Everything is horrible, but you get some better chicken wings. Yeah.
Out of the camp using a military bulldozer.
The only thing that changes is Raytheon stock, and it changes upwards.
On Wednesday, mourners held a funeral procession near Jenin for a Palestinian girl killed by an Israeli sniper. This is the girl Lujane's father, Osama Musleh.
The soldiers are surrounding the town. I tried to save her. I tried to do something, but I couldn't. The army is surrounding our area. I called for an ambulance. They arrived late because a sniper shot towards them. She was 16 years old. The only thing she did is she looked from the window and the soldiers saw her and shot her. One bullet that targeted her forehead.
At least 19 people have been killed in Jenin since last week when Israel launched...
That's just the fucking execution. That's just the fucking execution. Of a 16-year-old. Oh my God. Have you seen a 16-year-old girl? Confuse her with somebody. Have you seen a 16-year-old girl? How the fuck do you confuse a child with?
Its largest West Bank offensive in 2 decades. Jenin's governor, Kamal Abu al-Rub, said Israeli armored bulldozers have razed 70% of Jenin's streets, destroying...
Did you see the fucking bulldozers? How fucked in the head do you have to be to even invent it? The thing with the hook on the back that's exclusively designed just to destroy infrastructure. It's like satanic shit, dude.
More than a dozen miles of water and sewage pipes, along with electrical and communication cables. Jenin's main public hospital has been locked down, and 4,000 Jenin residents have been forced from their homes at gunpoint.
The situation in the areas which are under siege is bad. The Israeli army is preventing food, water, ambulances, and journalists from reaching these besieged areas, so we don't know what is happening in the areas which they consider to be military closed areas. We are getting lots of calls for help. This invasion is the worst, largest, and most painful to Palestinian people because the Israeli army is destroying the infrastructure, which means a blow to the local economy in Jenin.
In the Gaza Strip, Israeli attacks have killed at least 18 Palestinians since Wednesday. One assault on a tent encampment for displaced Palestinians killed 4 people near Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in central Gaza. The strike destroyed dozens of tents, wounded many others, including...
It's making me religious because I really want the designers and engineers to be sent to the lowest levels of hell. Yeah, it's... You have to be a special type of fucking fuck up to drive these, but to design these and then to fund these and then to be the engineer who actually makes them work properly. As you know, that the only thing this thing does is destroy. You're not normal. Like, there's no universe in which you are normal and you're doing that.
children. In southern Gaza, medical workers have begun vaccinating tens of thousands of Palestinian children in the city of Khan Yunis against polio, the second stage of a UN-led polio eradication effort. Meanwhile, Hamas has accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of deliberately undermining efforts to forge a ceasefire and hostage release deal by refusing to withdraw Israeli troops from the Philadelphia corridor along Gaza's border with Egypt. This comes as newly published documents show how Netanyahu and Israeli negotiators purposefully prolonged Israel's assault on Gaza by making new demands during ceasefire talks.
Oh my God, the shock, the fucking shock reaction. What? This is so 2014. Chat, Nagala, on God, this is the reaction. I'm cringing so hard. Oh my God, I'm cringing so hard.
Documents published by the Israeli newspaper Yedioth Ahronoth also reveal 3 of the 6 hostages found dead in Gaza last weekend were due for release under a ceasefire agreement drafted in May. President Biden said Monday
woman spitting out a drink gif.
Israeli Prime Minister
Umro Bora Čorba, da plačem ceo dan.
Benjamin Netanyahu is not doing enough to reach a ceasefire and hostage release deal. On Tuesday, a group of more than 24 rights organizations, including Amnesty International and Refugees International, sent the Biden-Harris administration a letter highlighting, quote, international and U.S. law, as well as your administration's policies require suspending weapons transfers to the Israeli government, unquote. The Portland City Council in Maine unanimously voted to divest all funds from companies complicit in Israeli human rights violations and war crimes against Palestinians. Organizers say Portland is the 4th U.S. city and the first on the East Coast to adopt such a divestment resolution, which comes after intense campaigning from rights groups including Maine Coalition for Palestine and Jewish Voice.
Finally, somebody did the bare fucking minimum. And was that so difficult? Was that so hard? Was actively not participating in the mass murder of children and innocents such a difficult thing to do? I don't know. Apparently, no, it's not. I don't know.
For Peace, Maine. Meta has ruled the phrase "from the river to the sea" is not hate speech. Pro-Israel groups have accused people who use the long-standing rallying cry for Palestinian liberation of being anti-Semitic and attempted to shut down speech promoting Palestinian rights on social media. But Meta's oversight board ruled "from the river to the sea" is, quote, often used as a political call for solidarity, equal rights, and self-determination of the Palestinian people and to end the war in Gaza, unquote.
That's very meta of them.
In Georgia,
it only took them a year and like thousands of people losing their jobs, tens of thousands of people losing their positions in universities, tens of thousands of students being kicked out of university under false pretense of anti-Semitism, people getting sacked from their jobs for having attended protests, people completely fucking up their relationship with their families because their families were ill-informed by these social media platforms and different news agencies that they represent anti-Semitism, so they all completely fucked up their relationships. Just all that, just all that. It only took them a year.
A 14-year-old boy shot and killed 2 other 14-year-olds and 2...
Why does Meta get to decide that? That's a great question, because it's a private corporation owning a private corporate entity, their social media platforms, which is absolutely insane. It's like owning the town square. It's so fucked in the head.
Students at Appalachia High School in the city of Winder on Wednesday morning in the deadliest school shooting this year. At least 9 others were injured. Authorities said Colt Gray, who used an AR platform-style weapon in Wednesday's rampage.
Oh, I didn't have it on my bingo card, even though I knew it happened. I mean, rest in peace, obviously, to everyone who died, but that would have been an easy win for me with the bingo card. American school shooting. It's fucking hell.
Charges as an adult. This is 15-year-old student Itzel Navarrete, who survived the shooting.
All of us, including me, I was crying, I was shaking, and I just didn't know where my mind was. I was just so scared. But yeah, a lot of us were just crying. All you hear is crying. All you hear is like the sirens from outside. So it made us even more scared because we were like, oh, it's real, it's real. We didn't know how to react.
The shooter killed 2 students and 2 teachers. The teenage suspect was on the FBI's radar as far back as May of 2023, was interviewed when he was 13 years old, along with his father, about anonymous online threats. His father said he kept hunting guns in the family home. Appalachia High School reportedly received a threat by phone ahead of the shooting, with the caller warning 5 schools would be targeted, starting with Appalachia. After headlines, will go to Georgia for the latest. In Britain, Prime Minister Keir Starmer issued an apology Wednesday as the results of a 7-year-long investigation into the Grenfell Tower fire concluded the disaster was avoidable and was caused by decades of failure by...
Sorry if I missed Danny Coate. Danny Coate, thank you very much for the sub, you fucking legend. Thank you kindly for the support.
The UK government and systematic dishonesty of the companies that provided...
Oh my God! Again, lady, what are the supposed lady spitting out water.jpg? Right? Oh my God! Whoa! I can't believe this is happening. Only took you like half a decade.
Insulation and other construction materials in the London Tower block. The fire killed 72 people, many of them children, most of them from low-income and immigrant families. This is Natasha Elcock, a survivor and spokesperson for the group Grenfell United.
We paid the price of systematic dishonesty, institutional indifference, and neglect.
No, it's a GIF, bro.
We send a
no,
message.
It's a GIF, motherfucker. It's a GIF.
To Keir Starmer and his government. This country has been failed by governments of all political persuasions. Our expectation is your government will break old habits and implement all the recommendations made by Sir Martin Morbick's report without further delay. Because the time to address this is already 3 decades too late.
Throwback when Theresa May cried when she resigned but showed no remorse for this. Absolutely. It's JD Smitty. Yeah, and no, it's not GIF. Of course, I would literally. I walk out of the room if anybody says GIF. This like the GIF debate makes me feel so old. It's as old as like console wars. Remember when people made it a whole aspect of their personality, which console they owned, and they're like, "Fuck the Xbox 360 guys. I'm a PlayStation guy." But the worst would always be the PC people, because they were like, no, you know what they call themselves? The PC Master Race. They would call themselves the PC Master Race, okay? Thank God political correctness came along, and calling yourself PC became extremely uncool, right? My whole person, I was the proud soldier of the Sony army. So much of my identity was pretty much stolen by a corporate entity that fights another corporate entity over what video games I get to play. I was like, we have Uncharted and Metal Gear Solid, motherfucker, okay? That was so good. And then with Last of Us, I was like, this is over. We have won this conflict for the great Sony overlords, okay? Yeah, and the PC guys would just be straight up elitists, like a PC Master Race. Motherfucker, like 10% of all video games come out for your platform. What kind of Master Race is that, dude? Okay, you can run games better. But which games, dude? What games? Are the games in the room with us right now? How are you a Master Race when you have to spend more time optimizing your game than actually playing it? How is that Master Race behavior, okay? I was part of the PC Master Race. Pandas, oh my God, my brother. Can you please not make fun of my investment, please? We get indie games, which are way better. Don't at me. Yeah. You do. That is very true. That is very true. Sony's better. Play Spider-Man. I actually never played Spider-Man. And I'm not going to. I'm not a fucking man who is a spider. Okay? I spent $3K on my rig. I know I'm cool as shit. Yeah, brother.
I love I have a personal beef as a representer of both the frat bro and a nerd at the same time. I have to hate on both categories. And it's always hilarious to me when talking to a gamer who's like, man, all these guys spending so much money on cars, it made no sense. It's just supposed to take you from place A to place B. Proceeds to spend $7,000 every cent he saved for the last 10 years on a gaming rig, okay? On an actual PC, on a box that sits in their fucking living room, okay? It's only supposed to process data and play video games on medium quality. You don't need to play Crytek games in 4K, dude. In engineering world, we call frat bros mechanical engineers. Why would you spend 2K on shoes? Proceeds to spend 2K on a single monitor. Da, блядь, exactly. Thank you. But yeah. Can you play Disco Elysium on console? Of course, I played it. It was awesome, I think. Or did I play it on PC? No, I bought it. I specifically wanted to buy it. I don't think I've ever bought a PC game. And yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a PC game because, well, I'm from the fucking Balkans. Okay? We don't exactly buy PC games here, right? Okay, back to the stream after re-examining some lore of the console wars. The console war. It's got a whole. In video game industry, a console war describes the competition between two or more video game console manufacturers in trying to achieve better consumer sales through more advanced console technology and improved selection of video games. Yeah, the exclusives and general marketing around their consoles. I could probably dig up some ancient forum accounts that I had where I was taking my Sony fanboyism so fucking seriously. To be fair, a PC can do a lot more than a car. Does that mean people do that? No. I mean, can a PC run over 50 people? I think a car can do a lot more than a PC, brother. But then, yeah, if you know what to do, you can blow up a building with a PC. So true, makes sense. I don't know why my definition of how much a particular thing can do is counted in how many lives it could potentially take. But hey. I'm just being a silly goose. A PC can fly a drone for one of Obama's signature strikes, although I think they were doing that with PlayStations at some point. Okay, let's go back to Depression Now, depressionnow.com with Amy Badman and the War and War Report.
Go to democracynow.org to see our interview with a Grenfell survivor. In Germany, the far-right Alternative for Germany, or
Alternative für Deutschland, ja, wir werden Deutschland sehr alternativ machen. As well, no Alternative for Deutschland just wants more goth chicks and techno-rave clubs in basements. For the alternative way is the true German way, and that is dancing under bridges to strange music.
AfD party won an election in the eastern state of Thuringia and came in second in neighboring Saxony, sending shockwaves throughout Germany and Europe. It's unlikely the AfD will be able
well, it was in Switzerland. They were talking about it on the radio.
to form a ruling coalition as other parties refuse to work with them, and Chancellor Olaf Scholz has called on German lawmakers to lock the Nationalist Party out of any talks. Alice Weidel is co-leader.
Yeah, I can't wait for the left to unify and then defeat them, and then the centrists to still choose a right-wing leader because they would rather work with fascists than with leftists, aka France. I can't wait for that to happen.
Of Alternative for Germany.
Our school classes are being flooded with children and young people from foreign cultures who come from archaic backgrounds, marked by Muslim beliefs. They are uneducated and all they speak is gibberish. Children no longer learn anything, and this is the result as to why those young people who still want to have a perspective in our country have supported the AfD as much as they have.
The AfD, we really care about what children learn in the schools, brother. Oh, yeah, I love it. AfD be like, hey, remember when our country was completely destroyed in the 1940s to the extent that our people were eating trash? We should go back to that. Yeah. They're just lucky that Stalin stopped at Berlin.
This is the first time a far-right party has won a German election since the 1930s. In 1930, the Nazi Party won three.
Too fast to forgive the Germans. All of you, too fast. I never did. Never did. Never did. Never did. Never did. Never did. Okay? I want at least a century of Germans not doing insane shit. And then I'll be like, okay. The single country that is a track record worse than a fucking Tesla in winter, okay? I think a century is not a lot to ask.
State. 3 years later, Adolf Hitler became Germany's chancellor. In other news from Germany, Munich.
I love Germans, by the way. I'm not fucking around, but it's German state, the German state, German political establishment, German middle class. Like, don't turn everything around you into a war zone for at least 50 years. Challenge impossible.
Police officers shot and killed a man near the Israeli consulate and Nazi documentation center earlier today after he opened fire on police officers. Meanwhile, in news from France, President Emmanuel Macron has named former EU Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier as France's new prime minister after rejecting calls to appoint a progressive...
Little soft cool. I said it at the beginning of this stream. Little fucking soft cool. Because, chat... A Western democracy is not a democracy because it's... A Western democracy is a democracy not because it is a democracy, but because it is Western. Okay? Always remember that. A Western leader is allowed to do anything and everything they want to. Call police and army down to protesters and kill and beat the living shit out of them. Absolutely okay if you're Western. Completely ignore a tradition that has been set in your country for half a century on how a prime minister is elected. Absolutely okay for you if you're Western. Marry and live with a pedophile. Live and marry a pedophile. Make a pedophile the first lady of France. A pedophile. Absolutely acceptable because you're Western, because you're de facto civilized, because de facto you cannot do anything wrong, for you are an ally of the US, for you are the pinnacle of human civilization, for you are Christian, for you are white. Fucking pedophile, the guy with the pedophile wife.
Progressive leader following a victory by a leftist coalition in July's snap elections. Barnier is a long-time conservative.
Well, we call Ben Shapiro the hot sister haver. What do we call Macron? The pedophile wife haver? The pedo wife haver, okay?
From the Les Républicains party. Back in the United States, President Biden...
Really? No more comments, Amy. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? No more comments on this? Okay.
Biden could make...
The writers fucking fell off, man.
Because current hardline border restrictions permanent, according to...
Writers fell off hard on that coverage.
Administration officials. In June, Biden issued a temporary executive order sealing off the border when the number of asylum seekers exceeds a daily average of 2,500 for 1 week, and allowing border agents to quickly turn away migrants. The asylum ban being considered would make the executive order a permanent feature of U.S. immigration policy and further lower the threshold at which migrants are rejected. The ACLU and others have sued Biden over the policy. In campaign news,
I love when we push Biden so left that he's he's more radical than the fucking Republicans on the border.
Kamala Harris has agreed to propose rules for her ABC News debate with Donald Trump September 10th, including
we will have the most little army in the world.
Having mics muted when a candidate has not been given the floor, although Harris's team said it would disadvantage her. And in other campaign news, Liz Cheney, the former Wyoming Congressmember who served in the House Republican leadership and voted to impeach Trump, has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. And those are some of the headlines.
Give a shit, and I'm done pretending like I care about American elections.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report.
Depression Now, depressionnow.com with Amy Badman and the War and War Report. By the way, mods, if you want me to watch something, add to the timeline. Okay, let's pretend to care about the American elections, though.
Have you ever...
We talked to real swing voters. What they told us will shock you. Let's both be supportive of the American working class while we make fun of Americans. So
Title could be my beautiful mods making fun of Americans, the swing voters. Okay? My favorite pastime. Yeah, brother, let's see what some true red-blooded patriots believe in, brother. They are not easily swayed by the far-left communist Democrats or by the fascist neo-Nazi empire overlords of the Trumpian Republicans. They truly choose their side based on true facts and logic, brother. Those are soft hands. Those are soft hands that do very, very soft election results, brother.
Met an open socialist before and sat and talked with them on a porch.
Swinger voters, yeah, the voters that also like to swing, brother. Yeah, this is soft hands, brother. I have my hands are hard from all the swinging that I do, brother. I didn't know that swingers were such an important voting body in the U.S.
You. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Sometimes politics is a lot less straightforward than we're led to believe. Especially in a place like this. Elliott County looks like any other part of rural Kentucky, but it's not. In fact, it might have the weirdest politics of any place in the country. That's because Elliott County voted for Democrats in every presidential election for 144 years straight. FDR, Truman, JFK, LBJ, Carter, Clinton, Obama, and then in 2016, vote for Donald Trump?
Yep.
2020?
Yep.
2024?
Yep. Definitely.
The single largest swing from Obama to Trump happened right here. But a few years later, something just as surprising happened. Elliott County voted for Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat. So what's the deal with Elliott County? Is it just an outlier? Or is there something deeper going on here? Something with implications that could reach far beyond eastern Kentucky. Did you hear that? Is that on camera?
Here's one. You might recognize what's going on. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. If you told me you paid me $100,000 to tell you what's going on here, I would be broke.
Yeah.
That guy is Donnie. He runs the Big Four store in Elliott County. Here you'll find Union stickers, Trump shirts, and a rare collection of fine art made by Donnie himself.
The most class-conscious American.
So how many generations are you in Elliott County, and who's this?
That's my dad. He built the house in 1950, and that's the house I got now. I've been here all my life, tarred pipe fitter, been in the store business for...
No, I'll immediately give you the answer. In America, all politics is just about aesthetics. It's about virtue signaling, and it's about optics. It's about appearing to be as close to what people want their daddy or mommy to be as you potentially can be, and so that they can choose. Okay, that's it. Because Americans live in the main game, and all of the rest of us are in a DLC that is yet to be published.
24 years. I mean, some of the best people you meet around here.
Elliott is home to some 7,000 people, 99% white. Aside from a few churches, a gas station, and a prison, there's not a whole lot here. But it is known for one thing. This county, it's the only one in the country that has voted 144 years straight for Democrats. And then it flipped 45 points to Trump. Only county in America that did that. How do you explain that? Why did such a radical shift happen? What's your understanding?
I love how radical that shift is.
Think of that.
Well, I don't care what. You know, if I was a coon hunter and I bought a dog, and I sell coon hides, and my dog won't tree a coon, I'm going to get me another one. Same way with these two guys. Biden ain't done nothing for me, and I'm going to switch to a new dog.
What do you think of George W. Bush?
Yeah, he's simply disappointed in what the Democrats have done for them for so long that he, voted for the other guy, which is the only option you have in the United States, which is why everything stays the same forever, ever, except the because that's impossible because of the falling rate of profit. I'm a switch to a new dog. I love my dogs. I call my dogs the politicians.
A Democrat because my father was. And that was just something, it's just like your last name. You're a Democrat.
Growing up, I was always taught you got to vote Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat.
What did it mean to be a Democrat? Was it connected to anything?
That is.
I love it how Americans will live in a place like that. I mean, it's quaint or whatever, but they're obviously rather impoverished. Love how an American will live in this state, and the last 5 generations voted for the same guy, and then your poor dad, from born to your poor grandpa, comes to your poor ass and is like, yo, vote for the same guys and we'll keep absolutely everything the absolute same way as it has been for the last 100 years as we live in poverty. I love that.
Just how the county went. The Democrats was giving money for the county, and we were trying to get roads fixed, trying to, make this county something.
Yeah.
And that's who
something
was helping us.
When a county votes for one party for 144 years straight, it can be hard to know where that kind of loyalty even comes from. Some folks say that FDR's New Deal had something to do with it. The New Deal put millions to work building roads and schools and bridges, created Social Security, and established by law the right to form a union. And for decades, it cemented the idea that Democrats were a party for the working class.
Democrats were looked at for the poor people. Yep. They were for the poor people.
Our great-great-grandparents were Democrats, and, just taught through the years from FDR on. They believed that was the union support. And it has somewhat changed in this area in the last few election cycles, if you will.
Yeah.
It's changed drastically, honestly.
As recently as the mid-90s, Kentucky was a Democratic stronghold. Democrats controlled the State House, the governor's mansion, and the majority of congressional seats. But eventually, things began to shift. The party of workers and unions became champions of free trade and Wall Street.
Yeah, and the party was originally a champion of workers because it had no other alternative. A potential revolution was knocking on the door, inspired by the Bolshevik one. And even the billionaires said, okay, we got to give him a little bit. Not saying that FDR wasn't based as shit for, helping win World War II and the New Deal, but the only time you're given absolutely anything by the capitalist dog is when it feels like it has nowhere else to go.
Democrats.
And that is not something that anybody should be thankful to the Democratic Party for, okay? Somebody beating the shit out of you every day, and then one day you grow up to be big enough and you go to beat the shit out of them, and they say, no, I'm going to stop beating the shit out of you, so you don't beat the shit out of them. Should you be grateful to the guy that was beating the shit out of you for the past 10 years? Because now he's not going to do it anymore. Should you be grateful that he's no longer doing it now that he realized that you can actually defend yourself? No, you should not be fucking thankful to absolutely any politician or any boss or anybody, any sort of position of power for giving you some leeway or giving you some reforms or giving you some health care, giving you some roads, giving you some schools. You fucking earned that with your sweat. Your parents earned that with their sweat. Your entire fucking family line earned that with their sweat. You pay for that shit. There's no need for thankfulness. Eat my ass. Modern modesty is a pure capitalist invention taught to you so that you can tap yourself on the back for being poor and destitute. As if it's some sort of great spiritual endeavor. Well, if it's such a great spiritual endeavor, then why do they enjoy their money so much? Why do they love swimming in it?
Stopped chasing blue-collar voters in rural areas and shifted their attention to white-collar voters in the suburbs. And that left a vacuum. A vacuum that Republicans, who supported basically the same corporate agenda, were happy to fill. By 2012, Elliott County was the last...
Yeah, there you go. They changed the demographic as they always do because a political... I don't know. I feel like this is an exclusively American and British thing to an extent, with the Tories and Labour in Britain and with the Democrats and Republicans in the U.S. You guys think that a party is an actual thing, like an actual cohesive movement that represents particular ideas, and you look at it as if it's always filled with the same types of people and the same outwards ideology, etc., etc. It's not. It's just a name. It's just branding. Okay? But what sits behind that branding changes based on what they think will win them elections or which particular interest group with their money came to support them in that particular election cycle, so they need to represent said interest. There is no such thing as the Labour Party, the Democratic Party, the Tory Party, or the Republicans. Yes, sure, because of their particular branding to certain particular demographics, they have been leaning more in this or that direction through the years. But that's just paper. That's just a logo. Those are not real entities because they're not actually based in any sort of material understanding of how the world works. Or more importantly, they're not based in a proposal to want to change the so-called material conditions, the status quo. So therefore, they don't really do much, except, bounce around whatever for their particular demographic they feel like at that time could get them in the position of power or get them more lobby money.
Asked rural county to vote for a Democrat in a presidential election, not just in Kentucky, but across all majority.
It's just insanely irrational. It's crazy. It's insanely irrational.
White counties in the South. Then,
I don't know. I don't even know what sort of parallel I could give you. There's no parallel I can give you with it's as irrational as another thing.
16 rolled around.
There's none.
Sadly, the American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back.
I think a lot of it is that we're tired. I'm not saying that Donald Trump's not crooked. I'm not saying Joe Biden's not crooked. They're all crooked.
Yeah.
But, whenever we get an extra $30 or something in our paychecks, that makes a difference. I'm doing hay to try to feed the kids. I'm doing everything that I can know to do as, not only a parent,
yeah,
but as a person,
Is that getting harder?
It's getting harder.
It's getting harder as time goes on.
Yes.
How much opportunity is there for kids that are born in this county? And do most of them come back and live here?
Most of them, there's nothing here to do.
Everything good come to Elliott County has been by the union job. You go away somewhere to work, drive 2 hours, come home, open to retire for you.
No one cares about material conditions because they're so heavily individualized. They hate for all to have the same because that's communism, baby. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, absolutely, to an extent. I mean, those who are suffering without, actually suffering, and they don't have class consciousness, they're just begging for scraps. What the lady said, just give me some $30 and I'll vote for you, even though I know you're crooked, etc., etc. And those who are not suffering that much are just addicted to their credit cards. Something that makes heroin look like a fucking beam, just to consumer society and just being okay by, postponing depression by buying the newest and latest thing. Postponing that dreaded feeling of alienation and purposelessness by spending that paycheck. And now more and more and more often, not even spending that paycheck because it can't pay for shit, but, putting it on that good old credit card, baby. That's why it's so difficult. That's why, harping on class consciousness is so important. Because without it, there's nothing. There's nothing. And you can pitch class consciousness in so many different ways that it can work even for the most disenfranchised worker or somebody who's doing relatively okay in capitalism. It can work for all of them. Just the argument needs to be different.
You got hurt or crippled. That's the only people that have done well here.
Like the rest of the country, Elliott County has seen a dramatic decline in unions, which went hand in hand with stagnating wages. At the end of the 80s, the median household income in Elliott sat at $37,000, adjusting for inflation. Today, it's about $39,000. In other words, they haven't seen a raise in over 30 years, while the cost of living has only gone up.
Even after 140 years of voting for Democrats, we have lived not in poverty, not near the poverty line, in extreme poverty.
The poverty level being so hard, it was like, does he have a rope to throw us? And that's what it was.
Trump wasn't getting votes from New York City and LA and all these big towns. He was getting votes from these little counties all across America. Yeah. I think it's his anger, and everybody else in this country is angry. His anger filled his campaign, and
Yes, and that anger manifests in reactionary mentality or just basic so-called apolitical populism when it does not have class consciousness. That is the brilliance of the American system, that it introduced the idea to people that through the election of two copy-paste parties, true change is possible within the system. The very system that is causing these contradictions, which in turn are causing massive suffering to these beautiful people that are, on the actual ground, picking up the scraps. So, it's just the classic misdirection. It's so pathetic and simple. That's why, again, class consciousness is so important.
It was like, oh, I felt this for such a long time. Someone's relating to me.
We hear this
And
phrase.
I'm not just saying this out into the wind. If you're a part of an organization, if you want to start one, etc., an actual class-conscious organization, harp on class consciousness. Oh, you're a corporate guy. Well, argument. Well, you're being ripped off by your fucking boss. Do you want to be ripped off by a fucking boss? You're making him far more than he's actually paying you. Boom shakalaka. Somebody's in extreme poverty. Hey, Democrats, Republicans, you're still going to get fucked because of how the system is set up. Your position in the hierarchy as that of the bottom will always lead you to suffering no matter which party is ruling the country. Boom shakalaka. Class consciousness. The class consciousness pitch is just like the best way to get through the door, quote unquote, when it comes to talking to pretty much anybody.
Why do people vote
against? Just harp on it, and then after class consciousness, the image of a better world, more philosophical understanding of human potential, the idea that without the pursuit of purpose, and hopefully for those who are lucky enough among us, the finding of purpose, life is not really worth living much, etc., etc. But those get after the simple pitch of, dude, it's the system that is the problem, not different corrections of the system that are the problem. Not to repeat myself for the 500th time, but you can put only so many bandages on top of a bandage, on top of a bandage, on top of a tumor. You got to get the tumor out eventually, and the tumor is the way we have the system set up right now.
It's their interest. Listen, it makes me mad because that's telling us we're dumb, and we're not.
Andy Beshear is the governor of Kentucky. In 2019 and in 2023, Beshear pulled off something most people thought was impossible. He won as a Democrat in Trump country.
Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is kind of crazy. Take a look here.
Both times he won Elliott County.
I certainly think, at least for me, winning Elliott County was about waking up every day focused on the same issues that Kentuckians wake up and worry about. It's not the outrage of the day in Washington, D.C. It's things like, do I have a good job, one where I can afford to raise my family? Who is moving my life forward?
Beshear won partly by distancing himself from the National Democratic brand, which has become toxic in Kentucky. But he's not a moderate either. He ran as a pro-union candidate, campaigned on raising teacher pay, and implementing universal pre-K. And like many folks in Elliott County, Beshear traces his political roots back to the New Deal.
FDR showed up, and he produced. And my grandparents met on a WPA project. They were Democrats their entire life, and FDR was a major reason why.
That approach has informed the way he's governed.
Kentucky is one of the only southern states that has seen growth in union membership each of the last 2 years, and it is significant. I mean, we're building the two biggest battery plants on planet Earth. They're being built by organized labor.
Right.
These projects were possible in part thanks to trillions of dollars in investments that passed under Joe Biden. But the jobs are a 3-hour drive from Elliott County, so it's unclear if those investments will translate to votes. Did Governor Beshear earn your vote?
Yes, he did.
Did Joe Biden earn your vote?
No. The way President Trump ran the United States from a Kentuckian's perspective felt better to me than the way President Biden has run the United States. I don't really know how to dive into that any deeper. It's a perception. It's odd that I'm torn here because I support Governor Beshear every day. Governor Beshear has been great for this state.
Beshear has shown that Democrats can win in Elliott County, but he still isn't putting up numbers like Trump. No one is. What's it take to earn the vote in Elliott County, and how do you think Democrats win it back?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I can't answer that, and it's going to be
a new child soldier.
lopsided
Subscriber.
Thank you very much, my beautiful child soldier, Fernando Lyon, for the sub with Prime. Thank you very, very much for that 6 months. Speaking of which, if you want to join Fernando Lyon in supporting this show and having an adless experience while receiving plenty of emotes and joining the great Gunnar army of the future British Isles, then please do consider becoming a sub for $6 a month or for free through Prime and avoid the disgusting ad that is going to play in exactly 1 minute. The choice is yours. Thank you for your support. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
People around here don't really feel what happens in D.C. affects them that much. I mean, they never feel it personally, other than we go to the gas pump and it's $3.33 or $3.35 or whatever it is. We're only seeing that, and so many people, you know, they want somebody to blame, I think.
All of these people,
they want somebody to blame, and they can't find who to blame because they do not understand how the actual world works, because they're stupid fucking poor Americans in rural shitfuck village number 785. So whenever somebody comes and says, ha, fuck those previous guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Of course, Jimmy number 784 from village number 18,555 from bumfuck nowhere is going to vote for him. It's very fucking simple. It's called apolitical populism, okay? You just say pompous shit, and then the uneducated, stupid fucking classes vote for you. Why is this so fucking deep, man? He's more bombastic than the other ones. When you're completely uneducated, you think that bombastic equals something that can radically change things, so you vote for them. That's it. That's it. Why does this have to be a fucking 15-minute video? Christ.
by the millions that are coming in, they are...
Man, it took like 3 attempts for Twitch to accept my Brazilian card to pay for your sub. Thank you very much, my friend, for trying. Thank you very much. From a very rural town in North Carolina, and everyone in my family has the exact same perception, down to the Democrat governor.
Child soldier.
Yeah, I can absolutely see it. Thank you very much, Blanket Baron. And here I'm not making fun of like these bumfuck village people, okay? I'm from a bumfuck village. I'm from a fucking... the place I lived up until I was 8 had 7,000 citizens, okay? I'm as fucking villager as you get from a village country, okay? The Balkans, straight out of a war, born during a fucking war, okay? I'm not talking shit about these people in particular, but they exist in those material fucking conditions. We're fucking Marxists here, which make them fucking stupid. And then they vote in stupid fucking ways. That's it. That's it. And without lifting those people out of incredible poverty, right? There is no way for us to quote unquote lead them to what do you want? Like enlightenment. So don't blame them. Blame the place they find themselves to be in. Okay? And the system which allows those places to die to such an extent. Nothing more cringy than a fucking elitist fucking university white boy from New York talking shit about rednecks. It's fucking pathetic. Thank you very much, Blanket Baron, for the sub. Welcome to the community, Baron. It's very good to have you, my beautiful child soldier.
Destroying your Social Security and your Medicare.
Fear.
Subscribe for rural town number 707. Yeah.
Is at the heart of Trump's politics. And few issues bring up more fear than the southern border.
Where's the border rank for you in the list of political issues that matter?
1.
It's number 1?
Yes.
There you go. You become reactionary. There you go. You become a dumb, daft fucking cunt. You see? It's just how it works. That's the pipeline we should talk about, System further degrades education, life standards, access to information, more diverse cultural exchanges, etc., etc. And you become a daft fucking cunt. And then you vote for daft fucking cunts, which then further depreciate the state of, well, fucking everything, which creates more daft fucking cunts that are going to vote for it. And then, boom, you have the movie Idiocracy, and you're like, how did this happen? Well, it happened because we changed nothing, and we thought that the free market is going to fucking uplift us somehow.
How long?
They're in fucking Tennessee, and they care about the southern border. Yeah, lady, you think somebody wants to come live in that shit style you find yourself in, okay? You think I want to migrate and live in that
tick-infested fucking... Like, I feel like if I get cut on anything in your house, I will need 15 tetanus injections, okay? Jesus Christ.
How long have you felt the way that you do about the border?
Probably in the last 2 years. The way they're letting them come in, and it's like, it's like there's got to be a stop to it somewhere.
Why do you think so many people are coming up across the border?
Well, it has to be, they got to be a hell of a spot down there. I mean, I can understand what's going on. They just want something better.
What are those forces that are keeping coming up across?
Come in and
the way that you do about the border?
Yes.
How long have you felt the way that you do about the border?
Probably in the last 2 years. The way they're letting them come in, and it's like, it's like there's got to be a stop to it somewhere.
Why do you think so many people are coming up across the border?
Well,
my most controversial take is that I am hardcore against immigration into the United States, but not because I think like these people are evil and they're ruining the beautiful, beautiful country. No, I feel bad for how shitty the situation that these people are coming from needs to be for them to actually choose to want to live in the U.S. Okay? And I additionally feel bad for the more economically well-off immigrants that think they're actually going to a better place, actually going to a good place, not a place that is slowly collapsing around itself. That is why I'm against U.S. immigration. I'm hardcore against. I am anti-immigration to the U.S., but not for the reasons these guys are, but because it's a stupid fucking place to want to live in. It's a fucking shithole, okay? And to all my American brothers and sisters and enemies in chat, or any other platform that I talk on, the second you save some fucking money, get the fuck out of there, okay? Get the fuck out of there. Go live it up in Spain, bro, okay? It's cheaper than whatever Tallahassee village that you came out of, most likely. That's the most unhinged thing, okay? Just get the fuck out of there.
it has to be, they've got to be a hell of a spot down there. I mean, I can understand what's going on. They just want something better.
What are those forces that are keeping us on the road, whether you're coming from Kentucky or Honduras? Why are people moving around?
Feed their family. It's not here. That's what's broke up community too, because you had to move away from your family. You got brothers you haven't seen in 10 years because they're stuck in Michigan on an hourly job.
They're leaving horrible
insane
conditions to come here. I get it.
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
But there has to be a right way of doing it. Where is our funding for those people? Why are we not putting it back into our Social Security, into our veterans?
Why aren't we doing that?
Poor lady, man. I feel bad for even calling her a daft cunt. But she's so daft. How do I not? Billionaires hoarding incredible amounts of money. Trillions going into building the bigger, badder fucking warship and tanks so that we can kill Gazan children. Lower tax rates every fucking year for the world's wealthiest people. Greatest receivers of welfare checks being massive banks and corporations. Such a concept as being too big to fail existing, etc., etc., etc. Is this where all the money is going? Instead to my bumfuck village number 785's bumfuck house? No. It's Alejandro from Honduras that had like 2 weeks worth of a hotel paid for him after he came there because he was running away from a cartel. That's who's fucking me. This is the type of people that will, pass a beggar who's like, yo, can you give me $1? And they're like disgusting fucking parasite. And then in front of them a limo with like fucking 3 G-Wagons full of security parks. And the guy comes on and like, one day I want to be like him. That guy in that millisecond, probably did more fraud and more tax evasion and more damage to your economy than that leech beggar will be able to do in the next 2 centuries, right? But one is epic and cool. I love how this lovely daft idiot is voting for a fail son multi-millionaire to save her from other poor people. the state of the American class consciousness is incredible because it's minus 500. Okay, I need to learn Mandarin. Xi Jinping, please come and save us, brother. My family migrated to the U.S. in 2001. When I got older and realized what a shithole it was, I said, fuck all that, and left in 2012 and moved back to the country I was born in. It was the best decision ever. I'm much healthier and happier. Good for you, Fernando Lyon. Good for you. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of anti-immigrant rhetoric I want in chat daily, okay? Daily. Chat, when we get to 10,000 subscribers, I am taking massive trucks. I'm driving them up to the Mexican border, and I am literally creating like massive speakers with massive lights so they can scream across the border to the people trying to immigrate, do not come here, because it sucks. Okay, that's going to be the whole thing. Do not come here because it sucks. Seriously, it's a fucking shithole. Like, go to Canada maybe. That's it. That's the progressive who said there's no anti-immigration communists? You have one right here, just for all the different reasons. Then the Republicans want to do it. Okay, go back to where you came from. In 10 years, it's probably going to be better than this fucking place. Okay.
You tell me. You're the leftist.
Yeah. So one of the things that I am always thinking about too is people who are in that situation, or working people who don't have the luxury to not go to work.
Mm-hmm.
They'll look around at other working people and say, I can't get by because of what you're doing or something. And meanwhile, in the background,
just have on loop, have costs of different healthcare procedures playing on loop at the border. $780, broken finger. $3,200, baby delivery. $5,700 fixing broken arm. Like that, just playing on loop towards the border so they don't want to come.
We're adding more billionaires year after year after year. These people having not just $1 billion, but 10 and 20 or $200 billion.
You look like
Where do they fit into this situation where somebody who's cutting hay in 90-degree weather to feed the kids, where do the billionaires fit into that equation?
Good luck to them. I'm glad that they have it. But how many people do they hurt to get it? And 9 times out of 10, they're high in a political world.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And they're using government funds and what they know on the insider to make that money.
You said recently, quote, when you give, they do whatever the hell you
why
want.
is Alejandro from Nicaragua your problem?
Them to do. You better believe it. So what specifically did...
I think it's underrated how you're able to go to every climate that exists, from tundras to deserts, while only having to speak English. Massive W. Yeah, that's pretty cool. English is cool. One of the rare W's of imperialism. But unironically, it is.
They do. If I ask them, if I need them, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. When I need something from them 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them, they are there for me. And that's a broken system.
When it's people coming across the border versus, say, billionaires or something like that, who's got the most influence over the problems that you think we face as a country?
Millionaires.
Yeah.
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 Do you think you have more in common with a migrant from Mexico or Donald J. Trump?
Great question.
A migrant from Mexico.
Yeah.
How is it not clicking? Oh my God! How is nothing clicking? Oh, no, I know how that it's the fault of class conscious organizations. Okay, good job for more perfect union, for going there and talking and seeing the gap that can be filled with actual class conscious rhetoric. Okay, improve your fucking pitch to the bumfuck nowhere people. Okay, improve the fucking pitch. Communist Party's number 700 of America and DSA and so on. What the fuck are you waiting for? If anybody's here from that, there you go. What an incredible demographic for you to fucking milk the shit out of.
A migrant from Mexico, absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're out here working to survive to feed our families.
There are a lot of theories about why a place like this would go for a billionaire like Trump. Maybe it's because Trump said the quiet part out loud. that politicians in both parties had abandoned the working class. Maybe he gave them someone to blame for their problems. Immigrants, queer kids, radical socialists. But here's another theory. They voted for Trump because both parties felt captured, caught up in a system that no one here could influence.
Exactly.
In their mind, they thought Trump was going to save us. He's not a politician. He's going to be a little bit different. It was completely a lie. We're just in such a dire need for things to get better that they're grasping at any straw that they can reach for.
Andy Beshear offered one alternative, an old-school approach that reaches for what the Democratic Party used to be, a party that stood with the working class in small towns and in big cities. But Beshear is fighting an uphill battle. Even in a county that voted blue for 144 years, Trump is still winning by huge margins. How do you compete with that? Maybe the answer is to do something that Trump would never do.
Jeb Tush, very nice name. I'm in my local and just now made our first newsletter. We're also door knocking in our rural areas. Good job. Keep at it, brother.
Unite the working class by taking on
me being born in LA, watching the extremely wealthy eat their $40 charcuterie board meal in the morning and curb stomping a homeless person for fun by the evening. Real, by the way. Jesus Christ. Isn't that just an average American Tuesday? Globalization could be cool if it weren't capitalist and exploitative. It is cool if you remove the capitalist as well as cultural imperialist aspect to it. The eventual destruction of the nation state and the proliferation of international socialism through internationalism, which again respects individual cultures but does not allow for the reactionary formation of ethnic-based states, is an absolute necessity towards advanced communism. You will not have countries. You will not have countries. But we're talking about something that's like at least 1,000 years away. But you eventually need to annihilate the concept of a country after you annihilate the concept of a class. Probably those two come hand in hand. Yeah, there's a reason the song is called The Internationale. Absolutely. Absolutely. Problem is that the two directions of the Democratic Party seem to either be neoliberalism, 999, or social fascism. FDR basically stopped people actually solving the problems. He did the equivalent of covering up a crack in a wall with a poster. Yeah. Was his intentions probably decent? Yeah. To an extent, for how much it can be for an American politician. But that's what he did. You call it a crack on a wall. I call it a massive tumor that at this point is covering half of the body that we're not treating. We're only taking pills to treat the symptoms, which are reforms, or putting plasters on top of plasters on top of it so that we don't have to look at it, so that we don't have to feel as bad. Okay? I think the annihilation of the country can only come if imperialism has been overcome. Yes, and how can imperialism be overcome? Only when capitalism is overcome. Imperialism cannot exist without capitalism. And vice versa, capitalism cannot exist without imperialism. But one, chicken or the egg question. Here I'm very much chicken, It's capitalism first. But once that is addressed, then just the contradictions of a nation state die off, right? The reason we have things that we define progressive nationalist movements, anti-imperialist nationalist movements that, like colonies saving themselves from their colonizers, etc., which is based, obviously, but, they're just a stepping stone in that direction. Feudalism, yeah, but we're talking about the destruction of capitalism towards a class-conscious society. Towards also, the destruction of capitalism implies the destruction of class, or at least the minimization of class, which is also the opposite of feudalism. In feudalism, you just had different types of classes. I want future space communism like Star Trek. I mean, that's a pretty decent, non-ironically pretty decent depiction of what it could be. A post-scarcity one, at least. But the current writers are so fucking stupid, they're reintroducing capitalism to the galaxy, which is insane. They see, but what are we watching? Some shit about some fucking Americans, man. I'm pretending to care here. And it all starts with class consciousness among the workers. Yeah, currently even that is difficult. The idea of a state versus country versus identity. Yeah. I mean, you'll be able to live your life according to Pakistani culture or Croatian culture or Ghanaian culture, etc., etc. But always remember, those are also superstructure. They're also influenced by material conditions. At one point, all the best from all the cultures is going to melt together. All the worst and most reactionary aspects of all cultures will slowly melt away. And they form a new culture, just like every culture in history was formed through the intermingling of others, but the new global human culture can erupt. Thanks to the internet, thanks to the lack of state division, lack of class division, etc., which would quite literally create a unified world federation, call it whatever. The socialist state of no states in the state of the planet of states. You know? Macron did it again, fellas. Yeah, I saw. The Macron, you mean the pedophile fucker? The pedophile wife haver? God, I hope that the new global culture isn't born out of the internet. I mean, the internet lets us connect. What's so bad about the internet? You know, it creates these leviathans of change known as Twitch streamers, which teach you so much. Wait, Macron fucked a pedo? Yeah, he probably has sex with a pedophile every day. He married a pedophile. He fell in love with somebody who tortures underage children as they are like over 40 years old. Yeah, he did. It's just facts. Macron saw a pedophile and fell in love with her. Investment banker falls in love with a pedophile. Sounds like a movie idea. You don't need a movie. It's real life. Macron's wife is doing the first sex scene from Salo to him. Sorry. Oh my God, dude. Why did you make me imagine that? Lagos, I'm about to fuck. Oh, fuck you, Lagos.
The biggest threat we face.
I just don't like the big guy because the big guy is screwing you probably, or you want to be the big guy.
That's why I'm anti-immigration.
You know what I'm saying?
If we keep fighting amongst ourselves, that makes it easier for politicians to get a hold of you.
Well, how do we get to a situation where the working class is united around common interests? Do you think that's possible?
I would love to see it. Because if you could get the working class to stick together, you know, maybe it would make a difference. It'd have to.
Yeah, it's because you built everything.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. If you like the story and you want more stories like this, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have stories that you want us to investigate, drop them in the comments below.
Peterson and Lindsay are obsessed with Marx. Let's do a bit of Chud watch. I'll leave you with this as I go take a massive dookie. Okay, I love you. I'll be right back. I'll probably leave you with no, snooze the ad so I don't leave you with an ad. I'm not that evil, okay?
A Democratic presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, is a radical Marxist communist speaking in satanic code language to destroy America from the inside out.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
By the way, Jordan Peterson's greatest argument against Marxism is that Marx wrote a book, and that book was like, this is what I don't like about capitalism. And then Jordan Peterson is like, that means that Marx wanted to replace the Bible. So if you believe in Jesus, you cannot be a Marxist because Marx wrote a book. And if you write a book, that means it wants to replace the Bible. That is unironically Jordan Peterson's perspective on Marxism and why it's bad. Also 100 Gorillion dead Vuvuzela iPhone, right?
Or at least according to one math PhD.
I wanted to talk about Jordan Peterson a little bit because that really makes me want to shit.
PhD turned conspiratorial Reddit philosopher James Lindsay.
Me.
Here's James Lindsay on a recent podcast.
She is a communist. She knows her Marxist literature in and out. Her father was a Marxist. She was raised as a red diaper baby. All of her catchphrases, like you didn't just fall out of a coconut tree, that's a Marxist. It's not specifically, it didn't like come out of Karl Marx, but it's a Marxist sentiment.
Later on, he said this.
Okay, now I can't leave. I'm too intrigued. Jesus Christ.
The woman's a communist. I don't think she's a very high-level communist. Like I said, I think she's a low-level functionary in the Communist Party.
And on what I'm...
What's that Communist Party and how do I join, brother?
Pretty sure is a weird Norwegian alt-right podcast. He kept it up.
But I think that she says so many things that are kind of textbook Marxist.
And on one occasion, he also added in some misogyny just to mix things up a bit.
And I think she's hiding Marxism in kind of this ditzy, giggly, act that she portrays.
Now, this all caught my attention when he put out a viral Twitter thread explaining how Harris is speaking satanic Marxist incantations during campaign.
Can anybody teach me these? Satanus class conscenimus, may the deathus to the bourgeoisus come with great pain. May the 666 print itself with 666 cuts on everybody of everyone who owns more than $1 billion in assets. Marxicus satanicus blessicus Is that it? There you go. There you go. I kind of got goosebumps. That was not bad.
Pain events.
Careful, bro. You just turned my dog into a Marxist with that. Ave Satanus, Ave Maximus. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Lord. I did it for a meme. I did it for a sub. Now, if you pay me with a sub, you basically made me into a Satanist. Okay, you basically sold my soul to Satan for $6, and you also don't have to watch ads that are going to play in 6 minutes. So, that's your choice. That's my pitch before I go take a shit. Okay, bye.
I said on Twitter the other day, and got mocked relentlessly by the media for this, I said it's a Marxist incantation, as a matter of fact. It's like a spell. So you can see the possibility of a world that's unburdened from its own history, which is exactly what Mao Zedong did when he launched the campaign of Smash the Four Olds.
And not to be outdone, Jordan Peterson has already picked up the baton, also promoting the weird Harris-Marx-Satan conspiracy.
We're born into a world where other people have used their creative potential to transform the world into their vision. So, in a sense, our
the burden of what has been.
Right. Yes, exactly. And do a little hand gesture.
So today, I want to start by reacting to Lindsay's recent Satanist manifesto, and we'll then see how this conspiracy theorizing, in the guise of philosophizing, gets picked up by Jordan Peterson. But before I dive in, some background for those of you blissfully unaware of who this man is and what he does. Now, Lindsay is a mathematics PhD and former massage therapist / swordsman. That's all real, by the way. He rose to fame during what's called the Grievance Affair, where he and 2 other failed academics submitted fake papers using postmodern jargon to a series of academic journals to expose the lack of quality and rigor in academic publishing. They largely focused on journals publishing feminist and queer scholarship. He's written books criticizing both critical theory and race Marxism. He teaches weekend seminars on communism and runs a website that's funded by a Christian nationalist. He's also been accused of promoting conspiracy theories like cultural Marxism, which has long been associated with anti-Semitism, and LGBT grooming conspiracies. I did a video a few years back looking at his conspiratorial reading of critical race theory. Once this one's over, you can check it out if you still have life left in your eyes and your soul. And just in case you're here for the first time, my name's Michael. Before I was a YouTube guy, I was a philosophy professor, and a philosopher named Dave, who's a baseball fan and a gambling addict, helped me with this one just to make sure we didn't miss anything. So let's dive in and see why Kamala Harris is a Marxist and Marx is a Satanist, and by proxy, Kamala Harris is also a Satanist, I think, or something. Guys, I'm just so tired. Before we get into it, I want to talk about this video sponsor, Babbel. For a lot of people, summer means taking vacations, but I get hot really easily, so fall is when I want to get out of town. And what better way to get ready for, I don't know, doing something cool like backpacking across Europe than with Babbel. I've been using Babbel to learn Danish. When I was younger, I learned a bit of Danish when I was in grad school, but it just taught me how to kind of read 19th century Danish, which isn't super helpful if you're trying to get a coffee or ask for directions, which is why I'm loving using Babbel. It's a language learning app that's scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in only 3 weeks. All of their lessons are designed by real language teachers, not algorithms. So you're gonna learn using real world conversations. And hey, when you know it, it's time for me to complete my daily lesson.
Det vores sommerhus?
Det vores sommerhus? Det vores sommerhus? Got it.
Der brænde i skuret.
Der brænde i skuret. After a short time with Babbel, I can say stuff like, "Hi, jeg hear Michael. vor et toilet? So why don't you join me in learning a new language from Babbel, which is one of the top language learning apps in the world. When you click the link in the description, you're gonna get 60% off your subscription. So let me know in the comments, what language you wanna learn from Babbel and where you're gonna go to speak it. Again, click the link in the description. You're gonna get 60% off your subscription. And now, let's get back to the show. Okay, so we'll start by looking at Lindsay's recent viral Twitter thread. I will not call it X. Now he says, let's talk about Kamala Harris saying, to see what can be unburdened by what has been. This phrase, which she repeats all the time, is not mysterious, it's esoteric. That is, it's occult. It's a Marxist and Luciferian incantation, and that's easily seen. This guy really makes a lot of leaps real quick. Now, there was a video in his original tweet that got taken down, but here's a clip of what he's talking about to give you some context.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. There are those who are unable to see what can be. But there are many more who are able to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Now, what she's doing there, it might be corny or cliche, maybe for fun, say, to see what can be unburdened by what has been 10 times in a row and see how you feel. But I don't hear anything that's Marxist or Luciferian about this. I studied Marx for a while. I used to teach courses on Marx, and I'm not yet hearing anything that makes that connection, but he's just getting started. And I'm sure that James Lindsay, PhD, is going to be able to convince us. So he goes on and says, what esoteric means here is that it has a hidden meaning. It looks and sounds like goofy nonsense, but it isn't. People who know. That is, it's coded and Gnostic in its formulation, and the principle she's articulating is ultimately Luciferian/Hermetic a la Marx. This guy loves words almost as much as he loves big swords.
He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be fresh from the fight.
And again, as someone that's probably, read more Marx than most, I'm not seeing what he's putting down here. Maybe it could help us better understand it if we catch up with all the words that he uses with a quick vocab lesson. Now, esoteric, which he says here, describes something that's only properly understood by folks with a specialized set of knowledge. Gnosticism, now it's a type of mystical religious belief that prioritizes personal religious knowledge over divine revelation you get via someone like a Jesus. Luciferian, obviously, we get Satanist beliefs there. And the Hermetic tradition is just another quasi-mystical belief system. You got all that? Hey, you learned something today. Look at you. Now, if we're gonna be as good faith as possible here, we could say that sure, some of Marx's writings are esoteric if you don't have a background in philosophy or economics and things like that. I don't know if Harris's line is very esoteric in that way, like if you need specialized knowledge to understand what she's saying. But Marxism and Marx are definitely not Gnostic, Luciferian, or Hermetic, because all of those things directly oppose historical materialism, which is the theory that all of history is the product of material relations. It rejects idealism. It rejects, spiritual explanations. So it's very hard to tie a lot of what he's saying to Marxism. And thus far, I can't really connect the Marxism stuff to the Harris stuff. But hey, I'm filming this before her main speech at the Democratic National Convention. So if she comes out as a Marxist Satanist during that, we'll put that footage right here.
Last year, Joe and I brought together Democrats and conservative Republicans to write the strongest border bill in decades. The Border Patrol endorsed it.
Okay, I'm going to assume that never happened. But
okay,
Lindsay goes on and does something that I actually appreciate.
Oh, that was a nice 7 out of 10. Very spicy because I ate a lot of spicy food, but still better than not emptying it. So, GG, good job for me. Good job for me. I'm the best shitter in the world. Oh.
And I'm being honest here. I'm not being facetious. He quotes the text of the thinker he's discussing and criticizing, namely Marx. And he has a lengthy passage from the Communist Manifesto here. He says, here he is at the punchline of the Communist Manifesto, explaining that when the proletariat organizes itself and executes a revolution, it can move.
Thank you very much, Folskaratototo, for supporting my shitting. Thank you very much.
Forward into what can be communism unburdened by class antagonisms. So one thing to note as well is he's inserting Harris's thing on top of some Marx stuff right here to sort of force the connection between the two. I don't really see it. And if you want, you can pause or just go to his thread and read this whole passage. Now, the punchline thing is weird. Marx isn't a very funny guy, but here's what he...
Hugo, apparently Marxism is satanic. When do we sacrifice a weakling to Lucifer to summon socialism demons? Thank you for the 100 bits. I mean, I just previously did before I went to take a shit. And then, I marked the holy satanic ritual with the most holy of satanic bodily functions, which is shitting. You know, Christians cross themselves. Satan is shit.
He's getting at in this passage. You know, he's saying that the word.
But no, we're just not a high enough level. Okay, our character is not a high enough level to do this shit.
Working class, which is formed by
your ass summon demons. Well, it felt a little bit like it. I ate like 15 hot peppers in the last 2 days. I just ate 7, 8 for breakfast today. I ate 2 whole ass bagels, one with salmon and one with prosciutto, with gabagool. Okay? And a lot of hot ass motherfucking peppers. It was so good. Peppers.
It's antagonism with the ruling class is able to create a new society, and that new society abolishes the old conditions of production. In doing so, it then abolishes the conditions that led to that antagonism in the first place. In doing so...
No, not in one. Like, one was with salmon, and then I ate the whole ass another bagel with prosciutto.
You know, it'll then abolish the necessity for that class identity to begin with. I mean, think about it this way. If you went to high school in a bad 80s movie, you know, maybe everyone in your class is either a skater or a surfer, you know, land versus sea, and that's your fundamental antagonism. But then maybe eventually all the surfers are like, oh, sharks are scary, so they start skating, and then everyone in your class, they're just skaters now. So there's no more antagonism, and there's not even a need for the identity of skater, because you're all just skaters now, you know? And when everyone is a skater, no one is a skater.
Holy shit. Oh, fuck. Chat, I fucked up. JT is ready for me to record the deprogram literally in 9 minutes. And I'm not ready for the fucking episode. I fucked up massively. So I have to run immediately. I am so sorry. Thank you everyone for joining me. Tomorrow at the same time, same place. Hopefully more interesting videos. Today was kind of boring. Like, no joke. Not you, chat. You were lovely, everything. But like, the shit we covered was kind of, right? It was like, you know, it was like, it wasn't exactly, woo! It was more like, So, love you all. Thank you to the subs. Thank you to the follows. Seriously, without you, all of this would not be possible. Thank you to all my mods. If you want a mod for me, please reach out to any of the mods. I'm not going to raid now, so you can chat in this thing and join the fucking Discord account by writing !Discord. Join the Discord account. Okay, I love all you stupid fucking beautiful fucking child soldiers. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We're going to have more fun. Today was very... Okay. Tomorrow we might drink. It's Friday. Okay, bye-bye.